is first to the stream.
Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the stream. How is everyone doing? Hopefully well. Hopefully well.
Booty Hen says, "I back, good to see the stream. My sleep schedule is mess up again, but hello again."
Well, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're here. I am sorry for your sleep schedule. That is not fun, but glad to see you back. Glad to see you back here. Yeah. Hopefully things are going well for you. Oki, good evening. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. And Victor Gaming Zombie, you technically were first to post a message, but technically, we've got Seelick in here with the first redeem. So, yeah, that's sorry. That's how it goes now. That's how it goes. You got to redeem the first, and then you're first. That's them's the rules. Them's the rules now. Hoodian says, I only have time to say hello. Is the demo out? Well, hello. Glad you're here. And unfortunately, not yet. But soon. Eventually, one of these days, it's gonna happen. Axel says, sup, nerds. Sup, Axel. How's it going? Hopefully your week is going well so far. I know it's only Tuesday, but I hope it's going well. Yeah, well, glad you're all here. Welcome. We are going to jump in and get started on stuff so that we can see if we can get through as much as possible tonight. Because, as if you were here on Sunday, we were working on this not new, but reworking this puzzle. Because, just clicking on it to have it rotate 90 degrees was not very much fun. So after we figured out how to make it actually really rotate, now we need to get it working to the point where, it actually works and does things. It's getting there. It's getting there. As of right now, let me see. I think I have it pulled up to the point where if we go find room 16 and we interact with the glyphs, is it the... No, okay, that's right. It's this one. Okay, so never mind. So what we need to do is... I believe we just need to come in here and do portal puzzle. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so it actually shows it's here. We can rotate the pieces. That is absolutely fantastic. We need to actually get it working to the point where, it does things and actually works. So, we had talked about a couple different ways that we could do this. The first being kind of doing it. So the first idea I had was it was going to be you would find clues as you went through the tomb, and then as you found those clues, you would eventually find the 3 clues to tell you which eventual icons needed to be lined up, that kind of a thing. We can still do that. We could have it so that just randomly little clues pop up throughout the tomb that you then have to explore, find the clues. Once you found all the clues, then you can actually move on. The other thing we could do is kind of do it almost like a
turned Moonman into a PNG.
Oh my goodness, I am a PNG. I'm a pung. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Oh dear.
Sayforlek wants Moonman to do 10 chest benders.
All right, we can do the chest benders. As soon as I'm not a PNG anymore, we're gonna do the chest benders. So that is one option we could go. The other option that I was kind of thinking might be kind of fun. So instead of having to search for and find clues as you go throughout, what we could do is have it almost kind of like a mastermind puzzle, where basically you are trial and error.
Axel_Benedict wants Moonman to do 10 bicep curls.
Oh my goodness, sorry. We got the bicep curls and we got the stretches. This is going to be a good start. It's a good start.
Axel_Benedict just redeemed Streech.
All right, fantastic. Hootie says, okay, I need to go out, but have a good stream. Hootie Hand, I appreciate you jumping in. Hopefully have an absolutely fantastic evening, and we'll see you on the next one. I hope. Axel says, I'm still very sick. I am so sorry, Axel. That's a long time. I feel like you've been sick for a while. I hope that you start feeling better soon, because that is not fun. I am so sorry. Loki says, always reworking and never progressing. One of these days we'll make actual progress. Yeah. The problem is like I'll do something and I'm like, all right, that's good. Let's move on. We're good to go. And then I'll move on and then I'll do something even better. And then I'll be like, ah, crap. I need to go back and redo this other thing because it's not as good. So yeah, one of these days I will stop doing that and we'll actually make progress. Yeah, and it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. Peak, absolute peak. Going to the Equal says, hi all, just wanted to pop in, let y'all know that I'm here to lurk before I pop out again. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. Slick says, wait, what do you mean as soon as I'm not a PNG tuber? Well, I was a PNG tuber, and now I'm not. Now I'm not anymore. Let's see if he remembers to do them this time and not wait an hour. I absolutely am going to. We're going to do them right now, everybody. So, here we go. I've been sick. Oh my gosh. I've been sick since December. That is a tongue twister. I've been sick since December 20th. Holy smokes. I think the only way you can make that more of a tongue twister is if I've been sick since December 22nd. I can't afford to go to the doctor as I have no insurance. I know the feeling. I know that feeling very well. I also do not have insurance. That's a dark time. It's a dark time, especially when you have to actually go to the doctor because it's really bad things. That is not very much fun. But Axel, I really hope you just start. I do hope you start feeling better soon. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I'm on the same boat since the 18th. Oof. That is not good. Well, Bear Like Lion, I hope you also start feeling better soon. I'm starting to get out of it. My wife got worse. Yeah, that is the worst when like one of you gets sick and the other's fine, and then like a couple days later, then the other person gets sick. Yeah, that was like the most recent sickness that we had was my wife and daughter got sick, and then they started getting better, and I was like fine for the first few days they were sick, and then I got sick for like 24 hours, and that was terrible. I was like puking my guts out and crapping myself, not my pants, but like, and then I was fine, and then my wife and daughter slowly got better. I don't know why. I seem to get better really quickly. I don't get sick very often, but when I do get sick, it is not very much fun for that first little bit. Yeah, I've been passing it back and forth. That was my entire childhood, because I grew up with, for anybody new here, I grew up with 10 siblings. And so basically, if one of us got sick, it was like, you need to quarantine, because if any of us else gets sick, it just bounces around. And a lot of times, by the time it finally got to the end person, so either, sibling number 10 or our parents, then sometimes it would even like mutate to the point where the person's immune system that initially had it couldn't fight against it anymore, and then they'd get sick all over again. It was not fun. Not fun. Worst part of being without insurance that I just found out is that if you die, the person who identifies and claims you has to pay for everything. Wait, what? That's messed up. That is really messed up. I had no idea. I just assumed, if someone died, they'd be like, well, sorry, and they would just let you go, but apparently not. That is terrible. It's good to know, though. I'm gonna have to think about that. Not that I plan on dying anytime soon, but it's good to know. Good to know. I've been downing flu medicine, eating edibles, and writing a bunch of code in this sticky haze. For a second, I thought you said this sticky haze, and I was like, I mean, you do sweat a lot when you're sick, but that's one way to describe it. Well, hopefully the flu medicine and the edibles will help you feel better soon. I hope. Fingers crossed. That body does look like my relative, but I don't know them. Sting hog? Or which one? Which other one? Okay, well. I've never met that cadaver a day in my life. No idea. Oh, the body. Okay, all right. I see what you're talking about now. Joke about the dead person. Yes, that body does not look like my relative, but I don't know them. Yes, yeah, it does look like my relative, but I don't know them. I've never seen that cadaver a day in my life. I don't know them at all. But if you could please just place them outside, and then maybe they'll go missing. Just don't come looking for them. Please and thank you. Goodbye. That's basically what you have to do. All right, everybody, let's do some chest benders, some bicep curls, and some stretching. Here we go. Let's crank the jams and get to work on that. And then we're going to get to work on the game. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Everybody ready? Count them out with me. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Day 4 Lek turned Moon Man into a PNG.
7, 8, 9, 10. I swear it's happening. Still doing it. I swear. You can hear the squeakiness of the chest benders. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. Okay, it wasn't very squeaky. I know that sounds like it didn't actually happen, but I swear it's right here. I did it. That's on you, Seelick. That's on you. Oh. And you cannot tell me that doesn't count. Chat. Is this the fastest he's ever said he's going to work on the game? I think so. Yeah, not even. Okay, we are now officially 10 minutes in. So yeah, this will probably be the fastest. Probably the fastest now. All right, let's do some stretching, and then let's work on the game. Here we go. And the other way. And backwards. Baby. All right. Oh. Sorry, I just punched you guys. I apologize for that. Ooh. Now I'm pulling my keyboard. Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate those. Okay, I refactored my new prototype into a roguelike and released an open source multiplayer Godot game to help teach others networking. Hey, that is awesome. Sounds like you're doing a lot of productive stuff in your sicky haze, so it might not actually be that bad. You know, from my perspective. Are my daggers cheese yet, by the way? Not yet, but they're going to be. I swear they're going to be. They're going to be, I promise. Okay, so yeah, so we've got a couple different options. So yeah, so we've got just like the normal rotating ones, and yeah, so it would tell you, it would give you clues as you go through. Yeah, the other one was going to be the mastermind one, where basically you would set up some specific ones and be like, okay, we're gonna do, you know, red, green, purple, or you know, whatever the icons would be, and then you would then lock it in, and then when you locked it in, it would then show you what you did, and if it's correct, it would be green. If it is on the list, but not on that one, then it would be yellow, and then red would be it is just incorrect completely. So, yeah. That is, that's that. The other thing I was thinking we could potentially do would almost be kind of like a lock-picking kind of thing. I'm not quite sure how to get a good haptic feedback, because I don't really want to do audio. I can't do audio cues, because like if anyone is playing the game that's like deaf, or you have to play it with like the sound off or whatever, you can't really hear audio clues. So like I was kind of thinking like, oh, like what if, you know, you hear like ticking, and then when it is the correct thing, then like it has like a different tick noise, and then you would like stop on the correct tick noise. I was like, no, like that doesn't quite work very well like that. So I was like, okay, like what about some kind of visual thing? And basically what it could be is, you know, you would have like I don't know, some kind of visual indication of like the ticks that are happening, and then it would like do some kind of like different visualization when it was the correct one. We could do that as well. I don't know, I kind of like the idea of the whole puzzle of it being like the mastermind minigame. I kind of like that idea. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I think that's what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the mastermind minigame. I think that's gonna be the most fun. I think it'd be a good time. So with that, we need to figure out how are we going to actually show all of this. I don't know. So there's a couple different options and ideas that I was having. One would be, instead of having 3 dials each like within themselves like it currently is now, the other thought was going to be, what if we had 3 dials spread out across, and then somewhere in here we could show your, I don't know, 3 attempts or something. I feel like 3 attempts is good, right? With 3 attempts, because let's see. I know that with Mastermind, that one's a lot crazier of a game, so like we're not going to base this off of Mastermind. What if we go So the other idea is kind of make it almost like a Wordle.
Almost kind of minigame. Oh my goodness. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Fairly says, Moon, can I get your opinion? First of all, Fairly, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. And absolutely, I would love to get your opinion. What do you got for me?
So almost kind of like a Wordle type thing where, so you'd basically, but instead of having the 5 letters, it would just be 3 technically. And then each one of those would only be 4 potential options, right? And so then you would select one of these. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. So you would select, to say for example, if you did green, purple, red, and then you locked it in or whatever, it would then show you which ones you did. Let's visualize this. Let's visualize it. Let's come in here. We're gonna do 1280 by 720, sure, and then we're gonna decrease you down to 25%. Let's shrink you down even more. We're gonna do like 100. That is still very, very small. Let's go like 250. That still seems like it wouldn't be tall enough. 200. 100 by 200. That seems more like it. That seems more like it. Okay, so here is kind of the general potential idea vibe thing. So we go to, let's go with like 40. 40 should be good. Get a dark gray. So you basically essentially have 3 of these dials. Let's do this. Yeah, 40 is good. 40, well, I feel like we'd want to have them slightly larger, right? Maybe 50? Maybe. Sure, why not? Something like that. So you would have the 3 dials. They would, have their whatever fighters. They'd probably be more like this. Don't have to be perfect. This is just a visualization. Come on. And then you have, whatever icons on the things, and it'd be stuff, Okay, you'd have the icons. Fairly says, I've begun marketing Jellyfields as a casual farming roguelike. Do you think the game is justified having the roguelike genre? Because you do runs of a biome, and when you finish it, everything is reset, and the biome itself has randomly spawned crops. Would it be a roguelike? I mean, the whole definition of being a roguelike is, doing runs and then slowly making progress. Because a roguelite would be like Rogue, where it's like when you die, you're dead, you start from scratch. Like there's no meta progression. But roguelikes take the idea of the inevitable death, but then using that to like build yourself up. I was having trouble describing it as not a roguelike, but then describing what a run is to people say, oh, like a roguelike. Yeah, I would almost say like if you're, because again, like you said, that's kind of like, it's the whole point is like you do the run on the biome, you do all the planting, the harvesting, like everything that's in that biome, and then when you're done, it resets, and you can go back in. So yeah, I would almost say calling it a farming roguelike is probably a really great way to call it, define it. Yeah, I would say 100%. I would say a casual farming roguelike is spot on accuracy. It might maybe throw a couple people off, like they might hear roguelike and be like, ooh, and then when they see it, they'd be like, wait, like where's the where's all the combat or like something like that. But like that's just people who misunderstand what a roguelike is. You know, that's just people going to assume that a roguelike just means it's like some kind of combat centric game. Yeah, so I think if you call it a casual farming roguelike, then yeah, that's 100%. I would say that covers it super well. Hey Moonman, how's the Moonchild and Moonmom? Moonchild is great. She is grown up way too fast and starting to become very defiant and opinionated, which is so much fun. So much fun when your almost 4-year-old just becomes very defiant and opinionated. It's a blast. So much fun. But no, it is good. So she's good, and Moonmom's also doing good. She's doing good. I'm trying to think of like I was like, well, she's not defiant. She's not. She is opinionated, but in a good way, not in like a young child kind of way. But yeah, they're good. They're both good. On the page, I described it as having roguelike elements without the stress. I like that. I really like that. That is a fantastic way to describe it. Yeah, if there's one thing that I remember from Jellyfields when I played it, very stress-free. Like I just felt like I was just like going along with like whatever I felt like the game wanted me to do at that time / what I wanted to do at that time. And it was nice. It was just great. Favorite word is no, and learned her first swear word. She knows more than just her first swear word. We have to stop her sometimes because she goes a little crazy. Yeah. She probably knows like 5 curse words now and actually uses them properly, which is very surprising for someone who's not even 4. We are trying to hammer home. We're like, you can swear when it's appropriate. When it's appropriate, you can swear. Like, we're not going to get mad at you. And that's just kind of like how we're going to be, is like, you know, it's like if she is swearing and someone's like, oh my gosh, like your child is swearing, we're going to be like, well, did this thing happen? Yes. Okay. Then it was appropriate. She can swear. Yeah, we're trying to make sure she doesn't do it just casually whenever, wherever, because yeah, that can get a little bit much. but anyway, yeah, no is definitely one of her favorite words, and she likes to scream it. So, yay for that. Okay, so you'll have the dials. I swear, as it keeps me from stuttering. It's a good way to go. Maybe that's why I stutter so much on stream. I need to swear more on stream. That's got to be it. It's got to be it. Can we do a Tav and GF collab? Oh, that would be so much fun. I would. Oh my gosh. Yes, 100%. I was just thinking about that. I was like, I would absolutely love to put some of the characters from Jellyfields as like either NPCs in the game or as like enemies that you can fight. That would be a lot of fun. I'm down. I'm 100% down. Absolutely. Let's talk about that, because that would be a lot of fun. That would be so much fun to do a collab. So then the idea would be we could have like, no, that wouldn't work. So I was thinking, what if we had then, you'd basically have let's go with like a 6. Sure. Yes, then basically you would have 3 diamonds or jewels or something like that to indicate your tries up here. And then as you were trying, so again, like if you got it wrong, you know, it would go like red, and then if you got it right, it would go green. And then if it was on a correct symbol, but it's just not the one here, then it would go orange. Actually, maybe that wouldn't be too bad. Actually, maybe that's not too bad. Because then, yeah, so then you would know. So it's like, okay, so this one is not it. Then you'd be like, okay, well, if this one's orange and this one's green, that means that this symbol should be over here. So then you'd rotate this one to this symbol. That means on the next time that it goes round, this one would be green. And let's say, for example, this one's just orange again. No, that would mean that this one would then be red. Yeah, yeah, well, actually, that wouldn't be too bad, actually, now that I think about it. We should also do a game bundle called Cards and Crops. Oh, yes, 100%. Apparently, I am loving this, and I'm 100% down. Now I feel like I have even more of a fire under me to be like, all right, now I need to get this done, because I know the Jellyfields is coming out soon. And so that means that I would need to get at least, like, the demo done before, like, I was going to say before then. I don't know if it'll be before then, but at least around that time. Yeah, I actually really like this idea. Yes, I'm on board. I'm 100% on board. Speaking of, are you getting nervous? Are you getting nervous about it or excited? This could be one potential layout. You'd have the 3 dials that you would be spinning and then lining them up and calling it good. The only thing here is I would need a good way to show the actual icons themselves. You can't just have like indicators of like, oh, this one was red. This one, it needs to actually be these icons that are on here are showing on there as well. So I guess at that point, we would then also have like a button down here. It would basically just, you know, be like the lock-in button or something. Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. I am so excited to share this game with the world. I honestly feel so confident in the game, and I am as excited as everyone else to play it. That is super exciting to hear. I hope that I'm going to feel the same way when this game is getting to the point where Jellyfields is at, because I feel like I'm going to be extremely nervous when I get to that point. But I hope that I'm actually going to be excited. I feel like right now I'm nervous because I know that it's not done, but I feel like once I know that it's basically done, I'll feel a lot more confident and very excited to be able to actually share it. So yeah, that's super exciting. I'm very glad you're feeling that good about the launch, the release, and yeah, I am super excited for it. Can't wait. Not wait. So at this point, though, is it going to be too easy? Because even though there's 4 icons per dial, there's 3 dials. But if we have set it up to the point where it cannot ever have a repeating icon, that means it has to be that means that only one of these would ever be red. And so as soon as you know that that one is the red one, then you just wouldn't do that one. So what else could we do? We could either add more. We kind of already found out how that was going to look in here, right? Like when you have things rotated at weird angles, it does feel a little bit bizarre with the pixel art. So if you have this one rotated like this, the pixel art just kind of feels off, because it is. But if we have, because this one technically has 8, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So maybe if we model it off of this middle one right here, maybe it actually wouldn't be that bad. You know, I think we're going to do that. I think I'm going to model it based off of that center dial. And then we're going to do 8. So this was the old circle that just was not... That was not... No. I can't believe that we spent as much time as we did working on it, and it turned out like that. Okay, I think that one's good. Now, what are the size of these things? 8 pixels? Okay, it's not too bad. Look, it says, I get le shock each time I get that email that the VPET manager sold on itch, especially since I haven't promoted it in forever. That is always a really good feeling. Yeah, that is super awesome though. That you've been, the fact that you're like still getting sales on it, especially without promotion, is amazing. Like that makes me super happy to hear. Do you ever plan on doing a whole bunch of promotion for it? Like, do you think you would ever, I don't know, do some like ad campaign or something? You know, put in like $50 and just be like, run some ads on Instagram for like a day. I don't even know how much $50 would get you. I'm assuming not very much. I'm assuming not, but maybe a little bit of something. Okay. Dial 1. Here's one thing though that I want to see. Let me pull this up really quick. We're going to open up. I think should still have. There it is. I think all of these should be their own icons still on. But I think these are, they're 12 pixels. Okay. We could potentially use some of these though. We could potentially. Which ones we would use? I don't know. That'll be something for a different day though. We'll figure this out for now. So, with dial 1. Yes, the only issue would be, oh, this Sting Hog's going down. Let's fill these in as well. So just for simplicity's sake, we're just going to do some shapes, and then we'll call it good for now. And then we'll come back and we'll redo the icons here. That would require me to have an Instagram. I mean, that's fair. That's fair, Loki. Good point. Fairly says, wow, your art has leveled up lately. Thank you. I appreciate that. It has definitely been quite the ride to try and get it to the point where it is now. But I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot of work. You know, both on stream, off stream, trying to just like, I feel like now that it's been about a year that I've been working in this art style, like the dark pixel art fantasy kind of art style, it's coming along. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. There's still a lot that I got to do to make some things better. But for now, yeah, it's definitely coming along. So appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, let's do 8 pixels. Oh. Okay, we'll do 7 pixels. We'll just do something like that, I suppose. And then 2, 1. I don't know, I'm so worried about like any of these pixels and any of these icons being anything. It's like they're not gonna stay, so I'm like, eh. Let's see. Fairly says, I honestly respect you so much from having your job, family, and you're developing a game with a smile. Incredible. Fairly, you're too much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try and be as inspirational as possible. I don't know. It's one of those things that it's like, you know, yeah, it's like family, job takes most of my time, but I'm like, this is what I enjoy. Like, I really love being creative and making things. And so I'm like, you know, it's what I enjoy. So it kind of makes it a lot easier because it is something that I enjoy so much. So I don't know, but I appreciate that, Fairly. Thank you. Thank you. Gotta stay happy though. Gotta stay smiling and happy. Otherwise, I mean, would it even really be fun to watch if I was actually, I know there are people that have made entire careers out of being angry. Should that be my new shtick? I'll be the angry game developer. I'm sure that's never been done before. I don't even know what's going on here. Whatever. Okay, so that's that. Now, What if instead? What if instead? Let's do this. Let's do this. Copy all these guys. I will say, though, Fairly, what you have accomplished is equally, if not even more impressive. Like, the fan base that you've built up over time, the multiple channels that you have, yeah, just everything that you have built and created and like, life you're living is absolutely fantastic. So, honestly, like, you are also an inspiration to me, too. Yeah, everything that you have done, I look at it and I'm like, every time a new short pops up, I'm like, I gotta be more like Fairly. Gotta be more like Fairly. Maybe one day. Maybe one day I will be. We're gonna keep these as is, for now. I'm gonna go through all the painstaking creating of icons later. For now, though, what we're gonna do here with these guys is, I believe... Whoop. Forgot. They're not on their own layer anymore. Copy that. Oh, actually, that should, like, work perfectly, I think. I hope. It's yeah, that should be lined up just fine. Just fine. Now let's bring the color palette down here, just so I can get these things colored in. Go down here to you. It's gonna cook up just fine. Nice and dandy. A bit of a terrible Homestar Runner accents there for everybody. Is it worth making all these individual recolored things? I don't know. Maybe. I feel like it's going to help just better visualize and make it feel nicer, you know? Eventually they will be replaced with icons, because like just going off of the colored circles is not the way we want to go. We definitely want to be different, you know? Yeah, having the different shapes and things like that will definitely help in setting these apart. Let's actually put that one there. Move you over there. Just go into a cave for 6 months and come out as a machine. Oh, how I wish. I wish so badly. If I could just be like, all right, I'm going over here. I'm doing this thing. I'll be back in 6 months. I would do it. I mean, you know, obviously I'd come up and say hi to my wife and daughter every now and then. But other than that, if I could, I would. Moonwood Games was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps. That is the way I want to be remembered. Yes, please. Yes, please. All right. So that should give us at least a better visual representation of what it should look like eventually. All right, so that is that. Now, let's do... Oh, actually, I know I've tried this before, and it didn't turn out so great, but let's give this a shot. I'm going to try and do a gear. Now, let's see how well this turns out. Who knows? Who knows? I think what we're going to do is we will have... There's a dark gray already. Are we going to go with 10? 16? 18? Yeah, that should be good. That should be good. So, then we will come down here to the squares. Let's do 6 pixels. Go. You, I believe, should be 8. Nope. Go with 4. How am I going to do this? We need more space. That's what it is. Yes, that's all it is. So instead of doing 8, let's do 6. Nope, I literally just did 6. Let's do 4. Okay, let's go slightly more in closer to it. Then we'll come up here, do a little bit of dish with a 1. There. Yeah, something like that. It's kind of gear-like. We'll see what it looks like in motion. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. We'll go with a darker in the center. Let's go with like a 8. There. I'll go with a 10 on the center one here. And an 8 here. One lighter gray. Just to get like a little bit more to it, you know? I have no idea what this is going to look like in motion. Potentially not good. I guess we'll see. I guess we will see. The EJB says, hey, just hopping on for a quick question. Would recommend RPG Maker for prototyping an RPG game that someone wants to make. 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, RPG Maker would make a fantastic prototyping tool. Because you can just jump in and just get started really quickly. It's super easy to like swap out any of the assets that you want. So even if you like get started and then you're like, oh, but I want it to be closer to this, and you just swap things out super easily. I know you can also do that in other engines. But the fact that like you need 0 programming at all to like prototype something, yeah, highly recommend 100%. If you just want to prototype a game, obviously, if you're prototyping anything that's not a top-down 2D RPG, probably going to be more work than it's worth if you're just doing prototyping. But yeah, I would 100% recommend. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up for me. Yeah. Hopefully that is helpful. But I do appreciate you jumping in. What about something like this? I feel like that almost looks better. Yep, that looks better. That looks way better. All right, so let's get rid of those sharp edges. I mean, it might be just slightly too curvy. But hey, if your gear's not curvy, what's even the point of having a gear? Am I right? Exactly. Okay, now the next thing up is we are then going to need to add some things here. Look, it says, I doubt you have tried it, but you have full access to the media server. I tried only doing the collections, but without giving access to the media folders themselves, you wouldn't have anything. Oh my gosh, wait, what? I remember us talking about this a while ago. And now, wait, was it a message that you sent me? Because if so, I feel really bad. Or maybe an email. If it was an email invitation, I probably have not looked at it yet because I don't check my email, my Moonwood Games email very often. I should probably be better at that. But I'm gonna have to take a look at that. I will definitely take a look. Riley says, oh, by the way, GF still has a lot left before release. I'm gonna need to work my butt off. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, yeah. And that happens. That happens. But hey, you're gonna get there. Jellyfield's gonna be absolutely fantastic. I'm super excited to see the finished product. The demo was so much fun. Yeah, I'm gonna be super ecstatic to finally see the full finished completed product. Does that make any sense at all to have it like that? Or do I just leave it like that and then leave it up to the imagination? The imagination. I'm kind of leaning more towards leaving it to the imagination, you know? Instead of having actually having connected pieces, it's almost like a free-floating thing. Like you look at it and you go, "Oh, yeah, that's that. That would make sense." Yeah, I think that makes. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Okay, so we'll put you there. Yeah, I think that should be all right. Cool. So, that should be that. I kind of feel like I now need to add something like this along this edge now. I don't know why, but that's I feel like that's what's needed here. I feel like with the depth that we have on the other stonework, this is what we need. Is that the same gray as... Oh, crap, it is the same gray as that one, though. I think I'm going to need to re-gray all this stuff. Yes, that is a term. That is a term. So what if we go with something like this? There's just not a whole lot of gray to work with, you know? We do that for that. Then we do you for you. Now on the gear, I'm going to do you. Oh, so that's the highlight. Okay. You're already the highlight. What if we take you to be you? And you to be you. You to be you. You to be you. We'll go with the slightly darker one on the inside of that shadow. It just feels so bright now. I don't like that. Not a fan of how bright it is. Something like that. Then that would be that. That would be that. Okay, so that one's too dark. Okay, that feels better. If you're that, that means you can be that. Then you... can be this. Let's do this. You're gonna be that. You're gonna be that. You are that. Yeah. No. Feels too cramped there. That just feels so flat. We'll figure it out later. We'll figure it out later. I sent the username and password to you on Discord. You laughed at the username. Oh. It was a while ago, okay? But you are correct in the fact that I have not tried it yet. But I do appreciate the reminder. life has been very busy. Very, very busy. But I promise, to anybody who has sent me messages on Discord, I am definitely going to be responding to them. I swear. I swear! On my honor. This is me raising my hand as an honor. I promise. I'm going to read them. And I'm going to respond to them. Also, YT chat isn't displaying. Not sure if... Oh my goodness, that's right. Sometimes I hate that so much. So I have this thing called StreamBot, which... Well, StreamerBot, which combines the YouTube and the Twitch chats into one thing. Because by default, nothing really supports both being combined together, because there's the whole terms of service, and like you're not supposed to have both stream chats up at the same time, or like it's something like that. Like you're not supposed to have YouTube chat on a Twitch stream and vice versa, but they never enforce it. But anyway, because it is technically the terms of service, most providers don't offer a way to just have the combined stream chats. So I have to use StreamerBot, but StreamerBot automatically connects to Twitch, but then I have to sign in every single time to YouTube. Very frustrating. I don't know why. And yeah, so I completely forgot to sign in. We have only had one YouTube chatter though, so haven't missed out on too much. All right. Yeah, I think we're just gonna call it. I like that. It looks nice. I'm very sorry if it was something else that you liked fairly, and that I wasn't a fan of it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out at a later date. For now, yeah. For now, we're just gonna call this good. What if we just add like? I feel like that's what the problem is, though. Is the internal shadow color? I think is the problem, because it makes this one right here feel too small, as compared to this one that feels nice and wide. I don't know. And who knows? The gear might actually also even look completely horrible in engine, and we may just get rid of the gear altogether. I just figured, I was like, you know what? Gears could actually be kind of fun. Divazoma says, needs a darker / lighter mid-circle between the center and the teeth. That's what I was kind of thinking. Do you mean like this part right here? Like this section right in here? 'Cause I was kind of thinking if we made it darker, that would make the most sense, but maybe it does need to be a lighter. Like show its kind of connection. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe even what we need is do something like this. Ooh, actually. That might actually fix the issue that I've been having visually with it. It needs to be just slightly wider. Yeah, these ones felt like they were too small. Now they feel like they're almost too big. But with the limited amount of pixels that we're working with, you can't really get a good in-between with corner pieces. I think that actually feels a lot better. I think that feels better. Now, as far as the lighter section you were talking about, I'm assuming you're meaning this section right here. And if we go with this gray, maybe. Big D and the kids table. Good old Big D. Jesse says, I've been lurking. Oh, Jesse, welcome. Glad you're here. And thank you for the lurk. I appreciate that. Hopefully things are going well for you. Hopefully life is treating you well. I hope. Oh, look at that. It showed up. Okay, good. Working. We'll call it good for now with that. Yeah, we'll call that good. Oh, I see what you're talking about now. Okay. So you're meaning something like this. Let's go with like a 10, 14. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. A lighter might work better, though. Whenever I call something good, it's always the next session when I totally nail it. There you go. There you go. Yeah, Devious on me. I think you are onto that. Yeah, so a lighter might work better, though. We could try something like that, and then we would basically go to a 12 here, and then do that. Or maybe something like a 6? But if we do... Maybe not 16. I'm a 14. What if we do 16? I feel like that kind of loses it. Yeah, so maybe 14 is good. We could go with something like that, and then go with a 10 of the darkest gray. Okay, all right, this is coming together. It's coming together. Devious Oatmeal, you are onto something. Maybe slightly smaller there. Okay. I think that's good. I think that is good. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff. I don't think we want to do something like this, but I'm going to try it just to try it on for size. No. No. I think I like it like this the most. Now the question is, though, do we then do that? Whoop. Do we do it, then do that? No. It needs something. I think that works the best. Yeah, fairly. It's the trial and error that you go through to make it finally on the next session actually getting it nailed. Absolutely, 100%. Okay, again, like I've said, though, this is not anything that I should spend too much time on, because I may eventually replace it with a new design, but for now, this will definitely get the job done. So, let's see here. So if we do a dial right here, how far over do you need to be? Ah, crap. I was kind of worried about. So we wouldn't be able to have the UI stuff here. I guess the question then becomes, would we need the UI stuff there? Maybe? Just raise the gears on the left and right. Well, so the reason why I can't do that, because I did think about that. I was like, yeah, we could just, go like that, and then we'd be good to go. The reason why we can't do that, unfortunately, is because we're kind of going for something like this. So basically, this puzzle is going to be a, oh my gosh, what the freak was it called? I can't remember the original, but like a Wordle almost kind of puzzle, where you'll spin the dials to whatever symbol that whatever your guess is, and then you'll lock it into place, and then there will be like indicators up above these to show your previous attempts, and then basically like how many more attempts you have. So yeah, so if we raise them up, then we kind of lose that spot. Mastermind. That's the one. Mastermind. Hit and blow. Hit and blow. Hit and blow. Oh yeah, kind of like hit and blow. Yeah. Hit and blow, mastermind, those kinds of things. Yeah, 100% like that. Hold up. Guess the color and position. Okay, hold up. I kind of want to actually see how do they do it on here, because maybe they'll actually have a much better way to do it. Oh boy. Okay, guess the color and position. Red flug, correct color and position. White flug, only the color the correct. Okay, so yeah, so the difference here though is wait, change the color X. Okay, so it's 4. Okay, gotcha. So it's telling you how many are correct and how many are incorrect. And so that's what I kind of want to avoid, honestly, is I know that I could very easily just be like, one of these is correct, one of these is incorrect. Yeah. So then what do they get if it's actually in the correct spot? It says one of these is correct. Zero of those are correct. Okay. So is the yellow. No. What? Oh. Red means correct color and position. Okay. Huh. So only the color is correct. So then how are you supposed to know where is the color correct? So I just know that one of the colors is correct. One of the color and positions are correct. And I know that 2 of the colors are correct, but not the positions. Do I then literally just have to like do red, orange, yellow, white? Okay, because then now I know that one of the colors and positions was correct, but I don't know which one it was. See, this is what I want to avoid. I want to avoid it being like, okay, you have one correct, but you don't know where it is correct, color and position wise. I know that I have 3 of the colors correct. But again, I'm like, okay, so if I change, that to that. Okay, so now that I know that yellow was a correct color. So then we want to say now I kind of want to actually get this thing. Okay, so let's do white, red, orange, and yellow. Maybe I'm just bad at these kinds of games. Honestly, it's probably just that I'm bad at these kinds of games. Anyway, this is what I want to avoid though, is having it so that, if you have one, does that say flug? What the freak is a flug? Red flug? If you have, what is a flug? What is a flug? Flug primarily means flight in German, a related Germanic language, like Icelandic referring to air travel. I don't think that's what that means. Anyway, yeah, so if it's correct color and position. But again, not a clue which ones are actually correct. Okay, that would make sense. No, I was definitely these colors all along. 100%. Look at that, I win. Yeah! There we go. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so that's kind of the idea that we're going for. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors. 6 colors, 4 positions, and they have 6 tries, basically. So with this, we're going to have 8 colors, or 8 icons, 3 tries, or no, 3 positions of combination, 8 icons. I'm kind of thinking maybe 4 tries would be good. Maybe. We'll get there eventually. Anywho, so that is why I kind of want to have a position up here, because we'll then basically what we're going to be doing is working off the idea of, let me turn off the UI again. So we're going to be working off the idea of we would have a button down here. I don't know what I should call it. Lock in. I don't know. Maybe we'll call it something else later. Something else later. Now, with a 60 by 10. Change this to there, 5 pixels. And we're gonna switch this to none. Lock in. Sure. Why not? Why not? Mastermind would be the original, was a board game. Could remove the gear and put the checks in the center. Could remove the gear and put the checks in the center. Wait. Like, get rid of this gear? That looks like a cassette tape. Or a VHS. Is that what you mean, though? Could remove the gear and put the checks in the center. Oh, that's what. Okay, never mind. Never mind. You're meaning remove like the center gear and then put the checks. Okay. That it took me a bit to catch up. I'm not gonna lie. That took me a bit to catch up. That is my bad. I am so sorry. The circles that would go above the big circles, put those in the center. Yes. I am so sorry. That literally as I was like getting it, I looked back over here and then like saw your chat come in. I was like, here he comes to explain why I'm stupid. Oh, that took me way too long to figure out. Yes. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. If we do that, yeah, we could have, but then here's the thing. Do I need / want these UI elements? Because basically, what these would be doing is, so this would be the amount of tries you have left, and then this would be the amount of time you have left. I don't know if I want this to be timed. I want people to feel like they have enough time to like think about it and figure it out. And the tries would technically be shown in either here or up here when you're actually trying to figure it out. So, I guess we technically don't even need these UI elements though. So if we did that, we could change it up then. We could still move these down, though. Instead of moving them up, we could do something along the lines of, we could do this. Okay. Go. Kind of like offset them a bit. I don't know if that would help at all. Like, make it feel different, better. I don't know. I also don't know if I necessarily want these to be like, yeah, I don't want to touch it like that. Will there be anything with the puzzle that damages you, or will you have anything that uses the purple to say hint or help solve? So definitely no hints, no help solve. At least I don't think we're going to want any hints or help solves. I guess that's the other thing, is I don't want it to be necessarily a thing that stops the player. That is a very good point, though, Devious Oatmeal. A very good point. We may want to look into potentially giving the option for, like, either a hint. That's the problem, is, like, I want it to be challenging, but I wouldn't want it to be something like stop someone from being able to progress in the game. Like, if someone just absolutely hates these kinds of puzzles, or like whatever the reason may be, and they just can't figure it out. I don't want people to like reach this point and be like, oh, I can't even progress to the next floor because these puzzles are, I hate these puzzles. They're stupid. Yeah, maybe. What are the options we would have then, or other things we could do? Because basically the whole idea is the spinning mechanic. That's like the biggest thing that I'm like, I want to use the spinning mechanic, just because like it took a while to get it figured out, and then once I got it figured out, I'm like, I want to actually use it. Like it's so satisfying to come in here and be like, woo, and like spin these things around. So really it's just the spinning mechanic that I'm like, I want to utilize and make some kind of puzzle out of, right? And so it doesn't necessarily have to be a Wordle-esque puzzle. There could be some other way we could utilize this. But what would that be, is the real question. Because the first thing that came to my mind was doing like the Wordle or the Mastermind, or the hit and blow kind of puzzle where you're setting the combination and then basically just hitting enter and then seeing if it's correct or not. And if it's not, then it tells you if you are correct, you have the right icon, but not the correct dial, or you have nothing correct on. Oh, go with just a whole new positioning. Like, one here, one there. One there. Kind of fun. Could be a good time. This big one is basically the smaller ones. Oh my gosh. I forgot that I didn't close it. Yeah, so basically, so the ones that we had in open in Photoshop is this middle one right here. This is the actual exact one that we're working with, is this one here. So this is what the puzzle originally looked like. Was you had these three, you know, you had the outer, the inner, and I guess the center, the inner, and the outer. And we could go back to something like this. We honestly could. What else could we do? Like my brain is like trying to like run rampant on like different ideas. Like I keep wanting to go back to like almost like a lock picking type thing. But then I'm like, no, this is for like activating a portal. So I'm like, it needs to be something that like makes sense, you know? Do you need 8 colors? We don't need 8 colors, no. So this original, this 4 one was the one that I was kind of thinking about doing. Is just having this one where you've just got the 4 different options. If we do just the 4, the reason why I did the 4 was because the 4 actually fits in this center one easily. So if we did just the 4, we could go back to a design like this, where you've got the 3 all like within each other, and then that would open up more space for like off to the side or something. That could be an option as well. Could be. Could be. Actually, hold the phone. I think what we're going to do is let's go back to the past. Samurai Jack. Take it. Let's open up this pictures. We're gonna do, I think it's the Portal Puzzle 2. Ho ho ho. 25%. Here's what I'm thinking. We would have this right here, right? So you got the 4 or the 3 dials. Then we would have off to one side, we would have like this extra thing over here that would show your attempts and just kind of like list out, you know, however many tries you've made. And then over here, as you go throughout the tomb, you will find there will be 3 pieces to the puzzle. And so if you wanted to and you explored the whole tomb, if you got all the pieces, over here would tell you what the combination is, what you need to actually get. And then over here, you know, still just showing your tries. So that way, if you explore the whole tomb, you'll be rewarded with basically just being like, yep, here's the combination. And then over here would just, yeah, show the tries. Let's give that a try. See what happens. Middle. Center. Outer. That is the spinner. Now, over here, we're going to create a new group. This is going to be called the tries. Seelick, I'm not quite sure what you're saying. The then and I am now. That's got to be it. That's got to be what you're saying. What if we go here? Here to here? And basically this would be behind spinner eventually. Okay, so then on the outer spinner, let's do this. You are 76. Oh. I guess that makes sense. Ooh. Something like that. Yeah, take that, Lamia. Now, way that we would represent this would be down here. 14, so 7 pixels. When making your circles, does using +/- keys increase/decrease the size? No. Does not. Although I can do select, modify, and I can expand. I can say like I want to expand it by like 3 pixels. But it does tend to not be a perfect circle when I do that. Because Photoshop is not great at I guess technically. Yeah, so that is the circle that Photoshop made. And then technically if I were to make my own circle going at it fresh again, that should be what the actual circle looks like. So like you can expand it, it just does weird things. Especially if you're like, expand it by 20 pixels. Then it just kind of becomes this weird freaking, what was that? What would that be, like hexagon shape? Not good, not good. Yeah, kind of frustrating. I meant the, I guess, pen tool. Oh, for like if I'm doing this. If you can, I'm sure it's like combined with some extra hotkeys. Because Control plus and minus like zooms in and out of the canvas. I don't know. I'm sure there's got to be some kind of hotkey. Hotkey to increase pen size in Photoshop. The right bracket. Hey, look at that. That's exciting stuff. For 40. 45. That increases it. That's weird. So it is going by 1 pixel now. 1 pixel. Now we're at 4. Now we're at 5. 6.
Thanks for the follow, Inaya JJ.
Hi JJ, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. So yeah, so it seems like it does increase it, but after a while it like starts increasing it by 5 pixels instead of just 1. So it is possible. It is definitely possible. That is good to know though. I had no idea. You keep manually changing the size of something through the UI. Yeah, it's... I think it's mostly just because I can get granular. But now that I know that I can increase it like that and decrease it, it's kind of useful actually. I'm gonna have to remember that because that is it's actually very useful. I like that. I like that a lot. See, if you just slow down to ask questions, you can get some good stuff. Okay, so maybe what we could do is we could change the shape of these. But again, I don't think we're necessarily going to go with just shapes. Because we need more visual distinction than just colors. We need the actual shapes. Probably setting you can set to increase it by only 1. No clue what that would be though. Yeah, I'm sure there's some setting somewhere. I'll have to look into it sometime and make it so I could just increase it by 1. That would be very useful. Okay, so if we do something like this. What the? Why is that not working? Why? Why can I not draw anything? What have I done? Smoothing? Found it! Figured it out. Oh my gosh. Okay, alright. Okay, we should be good there. Now, we draw you over to 3 away. 1, 2, 3. The question is, how many attempts do we want to have? 4? Is 4 too many? I feel like in 4 you'd be able to get it like every time. With 3, I feel like it's closer. Then if that's the case, then what if we were to do something along the lines of this and try to line these up better? Put that over the spinner. We get rid of those, and then we move these up to here. There. Oh. Oh, well. Then you would have attempt 1, 2, and 3. And then if that's the case, what we could do is let's move this back down here, and then the back itself rise. Okay, so that's lined up, and that gives us 3 pixels here on the top. We say 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my. Try holding with the pen tool. Wait, try dragging with the pen tool while holding down Control and Alt. Ooh. Yeah, so Control is to move. And then Control Alt duplicates a layer. That is kind of useful to know. Oh my gosh, I had no idea I could do that. What? What? Can I duplicate this though? Oh my gosh, I can duplicate whole groups. And then holding down Alt is the color picker tool. Yeah, so Alt is just dragging the layer that is currently selected. Alt is the color picker tool. And then Control and Alt duplicates the layer you've selected. Okay, that actually really, I really like that one. That is pretty cool. Although, is it maybe with the brushed? No. I don't know. Don't know. I don't know if I'm a fan of how that looks, though. Maybe if we get rid of the back. Man, This might have to be something I come back and work on later, because I cannot think of like a good way that I want it to look. And I know that if I don't do it the way that I want it to look, even if I just walk away and I'm like, all right, that works, like whatever, it's there. I know I'm gonna have to come back and fix it if I don't get it just right. And so I'm like, I don't want to just like walk away from it and be like, it's close enough. Because then I know it's gonna frustrate me and I'm gonna have to come back and work on it later. The other option we could have is holding both together didn't do anything with the brush. No, it like duplicates the layer. So if I do Control and Alt, then it just kind of duplicates the layer, which is cool. I do like that. I had no idea you could do that. Although here's what I wonder: what if I do this? Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Okay, well that's just a good thing to know in and of itself. So if I press Control Alt and if I right click, it selects the layer that I'm hovering over. So many cool hotkeys. Oh my gosh. Well, there we go. The more you know about Photoshop. Anyway, yeah, so the other option could be we could just go away from this whole Wordle-esque puzzle. Maybe. Was looking up a quick way to scale the brush. They must have changed the hotkeys or something. Yeah, that's my assumption anyway. I don't know. Let's see. Hotkey to change the size of a brush. Yeah, because you got the brackets. Change the hardness. Interactive drag shortcuts for precise control. Yeah, on Windows, hold Control plus J. Right click and drag. Wait. No, because that still just selects the layer. That duplicates the layer. Yeah, I don't know. That is very bizarre. Then drag left or right in order to increase or decrease the brush size. I wonder. Okay, that's what I have to do. So I still have to open up the context menu, but then if I do Control Alt and right click, then it allows me to change it. For better or worse, I don't know. I'm kind of like the slider's already here, and so it's like, yeah, at least I can see like how large it's gonna be. Why is that working now? Because now it's working without the context menu. I am so confused. Okay, I don't know why it was working. Why it's working now? Because I was pressing Control Alt and then right clicking and dragging. Not a clue. It's very bizarre that it wasn't, because not a clue. Not a clue in the world. Anyway. Yeah, good times, good times. Let's see, Halicon, first time chatter, welcome. Glad you're here, says, funny, I've used Photoshop on and off for 25 years, and I still only use zooming hotkeys and right-click menus and basically just Control-Z still. Same. All of these are new to me, so, yeah, it's good times. Yeah, so apparently, if you Control-Alt and then left-click on a layer, you can duplicate it super quickly, which is awesome. Didn't know that. That honestly isn't coming. I usually would just press Control J to duplicate my layer, so I'd be Control J and Control J, and that's how I would do it. The fact that I can just do this, pretty fantastic. Yeah. Huh. And it's still working. I don't know why it's working now, and it wasn't before. Anyway, yeah, fun times. Unless you have a Mac. That's true. Yeah, if you have a Mac, then you're gonna want to use the Command key. Witchcraft Photoshop magic. Oh, that's what I feel like anytime I watch someone who actually knows how to use Photoshop. I'm just like, oh my gosh. I thought I knew a lot, but apparently not. Because I feel like I'm in the same boat. Yeah, it's I feel like I've been using Photoshop for, yeah, probably about 25 years as well. I think I got my first version of Photoshop when I was like 11. There was an installer on a computer my dad was fixing, and my dad would, whoop. And yeah, I was probably like around 11-ish. Yeah, so 11, 21, 31. Yeah, 20, 23 years. So, good times. Good times. How bizarre. How bizarre. True. Because the last thing you clicked last time was the layer and not the brush. That is potentially true. That is very, very true. So wait. So if I do this, and it does that, and then if I do this, so I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. Oh well. I want to say there's also some magic stuff you do when you use a pen. Seems pretty similar. But there very well could be other things that I just don't know how to use them. I don't know. I just know that I use the pencil tool when I want to do pixel art, and then I use the brush tool when I want to do not pixel art. And I want it to be all fuzzy. Woo. Anyway. Good times. Let's see, Loki, what do we got for us? What do you got for us? Abandoned Power Ranger warehouse. Oh my god. That is, like, actually horrifying looking. The things people can do with AI nowadays is crazy. That is really creepy, though. Jeez. Oh my god. It is kind of cool, though. I like that. I like that. I remember getting Photoshop 4, and I had like, God, thousands of Photoshop plugins thinking I was tough stuff. Ah, the good old days. The good old days. Ah, yeah. All right. So I think the plan is, because I cannot think of a good way for the UI to actually, that was really loud, for the UI to actually show up here, I think we're just going to have to move on. So I don't want to sit on this for forever and then eventually just be like, nah, whatever. So I think what we're going to have to wait and do is I'm just going to have to wait for creative inspiration to strike. Sometimes it can take days, sometimes weeks before I like, and this is the weird thing. I will have like these, I don't want to call them visions because that makes me sound crazy. I'll have these ideas visually pop into my head of like, what if you do this? And it could be just times where like I haven't thought about it for like days, and just all of a sudden in my head it'll be like, what if you do it like this, and you have the dials like this, and then there's like this thing over here and this, and I have to like jot it down super quickly or else I forget it. Terrible stuff. I hate when I forget those kinds of things, because then I know that I knew what a good idea would be and then I lose it. So anyway, so I think we're going to move on and not worry about, oh yeah, that's right. That's I forgot that that is not that puzzle there. Yeah, so I think we're going to move on and not worry about this puzzle right here for now. Just know that eventually we will get this thing done and in place, and it's going to be grand and fantastic. But for now, this is what we got. It's there, and yeah. Okay, well then, so we're not going to be working on that. Oh yeah, hey, look at that. So good, so good. I apologize to have made you spend that time, for then me to just basically be like, we'll figure it out eventually, kind of a thing. I've officially switched both the mouse and keyboard to wireless. New speakers and the USB hub attached is to the underside of the desk. Oof, Loki, I absolutely love that. I need to follow your ways and go wireless on the mouse and keyboard. I don't know. I really like. I've got one of those like MMO mice that has like all the buttons on the side, and I never thought I would actually need it. I mostly I bought the mouse. So I bought this exact same mouse. I've had this exact same mouse for like 9 years now or something like that. And I ended up buying like 4 or 5 of them because I'm like, I love this mouse so much. If they ever stop producing these, I want to make sure I have backups. So this is actually my second one of this exact same mouse. Yeah, the first one I had for like 7 years and before it finally started dying. And then I replaced it with this one now. Anyway, all this to say, I have the MMO stuff on the side of the mouse. And I absolutely love it. I love being able to like program these buttons to like control volume and like play and pause music. It's great. That was me pausing the music. That wasn't your headphones freaking out. I apologize for that. Yeah, good times. That looks like the UTech Smart Venus. That is 100% what it is. It is the UTech Smart Venus. Yeah, I love this mouse. It is so great. Like the fact too is I think I bought my first one and I think it was like $10. It was on sale for like $10, and then it went on like full price and it was like $50. And I'm like, okay, I'm not paying $50 for this thing. And then the next time it went on sale for like $15, I bought like 3 of them, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have my my reserves of them. So anyway, yeah, wireless. I definitely need to get a wireless keyboard and mouse. One of these days. Catch-22, the MMO mouse is good for the buttons, but not exactly good to draw with. 100%. I can agree with that. They have an artificially tracking built into the sensor. Yeah, I had to turn off so Windows actually has its own like adjustments to the mouse like speed. I've turned that off on every single computer I use because it's just so annoying to have it like artificially think it knows how you want to move your mouse. And so I turn that off. So it's like the actual raw movement of the mouse, which helps. But then some mice also have their own things on top of that. I use a wireless mouse and it works fine for my deving. It's a cheap Logitech combo with wireless mouse and keyboard. And that's kind of what I think I'm gonna do is because like I already have I love Logitech stuff, especially like their mice and keyboard. They're so good. I think I might do that eventually. Is I'll probably get a mouse and keyboard combo that's wireless and decent enough. I'm thinking of Razer's mouse specifically though. Oh, true. Well, and the Razer mice are good. I've honestly like not really heard anything but good things about Razer mice, except for one guy that I know. He had the worst luck with Razer mice. I think he bought like 8 of them over the course of like 2 years, and every single one died after the first few months. And he kept buying the exact same one. He's like, maybe this one will be fine. And I'm like, just don't buy it. And he's like, but it's their best mouse. And I'm like, okay, you're like the most unlucky guy in the world. Stop buying these mice. Go buy something else. Eventually, he got one that was fine. And I'm like, good for you. I got that mouse like 3 times and just bought the wireless one. It is. I love this mouse. I love the like the ring finger rest right here and the thumb rest on the side. It's just it makes it so comfortable, and it's like so big in the hand. Nothing frustrates me more than like a small mouse. You're like cramping your hand around. You're like trying to like it just yeah. I love a big mouse. We're just gonna leave that there. We're gonna leave that right there. If I could find a box of 2000s Microsoft Intel Explorer Blues, I'd buy them. That would be a good time. I'm sure you can find them for very expensive on eBay. Mostly used, probably. Rocked PS2 to USB adapter with pride. They're not cheap. I believe it. I believe it. The last time that I tried looking for I'm trying to remember the exact model, but it was like an IBM keyboard from like the late 80s. And I really wanted one. And then I went on eBay and they're like $500. I'm like, I'm not paying $500 for a keyboard that I would then have to, again, have like actually, this wasn't even PS2. This was whatever old, I can't even remember the name of the connection, but like whatever the connection was back in like the 80s, and you would have to then convert that to PS2, and then the PS2 to USB. Yeah. Not great. Not great. What do we got here, Loki? What do we got here? Continue shopping. Oh! Well, there we go. There we go. I know what I gotta do. I know what I gotta do. So we got black, we got classic black, cool white, pink. Well, there we go. I gotta get the pink. Gotta happen. Oh my gosh. And then I can get one of these. Yeah. Although I cannot do 75% keyboards. I have to have my 10 key. That's tragic. Yeah, yeah. Gotta have my 10 key. Ooh, ooh. What the? Gosh, wait, it's got a whole freaking display. The GIF maker. RGB and custom volumes and language. Well. Experience lasting power. 10,000 milliamp hour battery. Oh my gosh. 42 hours of RGB backlit and the screen on, or 200 hours of no RGB and screen. Huh. I'm not gonna lie, this is actually a really cool looking keyboard. I don't know why I would use this screen, like at all, but it would be really cool to have. I really want this keyboard now. What is that, a volume knob on the side? Oh my gosh, that's a volume knob on the side. Huh. They've got it in white, creamy jade, sea salt silent. Oh, because it's a silent key. Okay. I was like, what the freak is sea salt silent? Makes more sense. Oh, they got a bundle. Well, I may actually have to look into to getting this wireless mouse though. The fact that you can get, oh, that's the wired. I was like, the fact that you can get a wireless mouse for 27 bucks. Okay, so it's 27 if you get the wired. The classic black wireless though, 38 bucks, 39. It's not bad. That is not bad. I don't know if I'd want to get a white mouse. I feel like that would just kind of get nasty really quick. Does it have the same like grippiness on the keys though? Kind of looks like it. I mean, it looks like it's basically the exact same mouse, just, yeah. Huh. Well, I'm gonna have to look into that later. Now is not the time to go mouse and keyboard shopping. But I appreciate that, Loki. I appreciate that. I bought my wife the purple one. It is a good looking one. I feel like I would go back and forth either between the purple or the pink. Because, you know, might as well. That's cool. That is cool. Halicon says the Logitech G Pro has been amazing for me, the wireless. But you can use your mouse for 12 hours a day and not have to plug it in to charge for 2 weeks. Oh my god. That is not bad. That is not bad at all. And it only takes 15 minutes to charge to full while you still use it. See, that is like the big downside to like the freaking Apple Magic Mouse that I do not understand why people can still defend it, is putting the charging port on the bottom of the mouse. I'm just like, why? So frustrating. But, oh well. I have a custom keyboard. I want to get a custom keyboard. The problem is as soon as I start looking to custom keyboards, I'm like, I don't know if I actually need this that bad. And then I stop. But it would be cool to have. For gifts, you fool. True, I could put GIFs on that screen. I need my keyboard to feel like a steel typewriter with as much noise. I do like a slight mechanical noise. Like mine, because I've got the Logitech G910 is what I've got. And it's a really great keyboard. I do enjoy it. It just, it has like just that perfect amount of clickety-clack. Like, you probably can't hear, maybe if I'm talking, you can kind of hear it in the background. But I feel like it mostly gets cut out. Yeah, it has like just enough tactile sound and feel that it feels good, but it's not quite steel typewriter. Not quite that much. It's literally the same mouse, only without the weights. Oh, okay. Well, honestly, I take out the weights. I've never understood why I would want the weights in here, so I take them out. Pretty sure I took them out. Yep, I took them out. That is clean. That is empty. No more weights. Because, I don't know. I don't really understand the need for the weights. Don't do it. You'll want to make more. It's like a cookie for a mouse. Yeah. And you don't want to give a cookie to a mouse. Just, do you know what happens if you give a mouse a cookie? We won't go down that rabbit hole right now, but it's not good. It's not good. I don't understand weights either in a mouse. Apparently it's supposed to be like good for like very precise movements, and so like if you're like playing games where you're a sniper or something like that, I guess it's supposed to help like decrease the movement, but I don't know. What? Coco!
Welcome Coco Deo Music and your 13 amazing audience members.
Coco, thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. Welcome everyone. I'm glad you're here. We're chatting about mechanical keyboards and wireless mice as I struggle to figure out what we should do for the UI here in this puzzle. But yeah. But I appreciate the raid. Thank you so much. How'd your stream go? Did you do anything fun, exciting, noteworthy? Would absolutely love to hear it. Typewriter, you say? Hey, there we go. See, that's what you need. That is what you need in your life, Halicon. Right there. Oh, look at that. It's even Bluetooth, so you can hook it up to your iPad. Okay, that's actually really cool. I kind of like that. Oh, it even comes with the 10 key. I'm sold. I am sold. It kind of kills me that it's on the left side, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. But I will say, $200. I don't think I could justify it. I don't think I could. But it would be fun. It would be fun. I have this one as well. Oh my gosh. You just have all the cool stuff, Loki. I remember I used to hustle Logitech 510 Rev 1.0 mice before they put weights in them at computer lands when I was little. Yeah, and now all the gaming mice are weighted. Don't understand it. Sparkle Melody says, Coco Raid. Coco says, Coco Raid. Silly Yash says, Coco Raid. And Ambivert says, Coco Raid. And Holy Peeper says, Moonwood Games. Welcome, everyone. I am glad you're here. Oh, and also, Coco Raid. Cannot forget. Oh, wait. That's why you didn't say it, because you are a first-time chatter. I thought you were part of the raid. Welcome, Holy Peepers. Unless, of course, you were a part of the raid. And welcome, either way. Glad you're here. Silly Ash says, true mice connoisseurs prefer wired mice. Yeah, and that's what I got. It's wired, and it's great. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic mouse. Cannot recommend it enough. But I will say, the wires do get a little bit out of hand sometimes. So, you know. Played games for the first 4 hours, then game dev for another 4. I hope you're having a good stream. Oh my gosh. Coco, that is a very long stream. That is really long. If you got to raid and run, because you got to, you know, do stuff like pee or eat or sleep, totally understandable. Yeah, but I do appreciate the raid, and I appreciate you being here, so thank you. So you can make your collection points runic like your wheel theme, like star alignments. Wait, did I miss another? Okay, no. So you could make your collection points runic like your wheel theme, like star alignments. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that one. The 10 key is separate. Oh, it's separate. Well, then never mind. I'm definitely not getting it. Imagine pulling the handle to hit space. That would be kind of fun, though. See, kind of right. I miss my G502 every day. It's tragic. It's tragic when those things go missing. Loki says, see, we chat for about 4 hours and dev for like 5 minutes. Exactly. I mean, technically, we have not done any dev work because it's mostly just been art, and then we basically just undid all of the art, so yay for that. Silly says, I have to make my G600 last forever because I guess they are discontinued now. No, I'm so sorry. That is tragic. But I get it. Yeah, sometimes when you find just the perfect thing, you got to make it last. You got to make it keep going. The handle is enter. Okay, that's actually really cool. I like that. Halicon says, was talking about your UI. You were doing a 3x3, figured it was trying to align colors. Yes. So basically, for this puzzle, the way that I'm kind of thinking about going with it is, and this is where I'm kind of just like not 100% sure on what we're gonna do with this puzzle, is it could go one of several ways. The current way that I was thinking was it would basically be kind of like a Wordle-esque kind of puzzle, but with the 4 symbols. So you'd line up whatever ones you think it was going to be, and then once you got them all, there would be like some kind of like lock-in button, and then it would tell you if it is the correct position and correct color or correct icon, whatever it is, correct position and correct dial. Then it would be something somewhere would indicate green. If it was the correct symbol but not the correct position, then it would be yellow or orange or something like that. And then if it's just not there at all, then it would go red. And then so I would need somewhere to show you like the history of what you had done, so you could kind of keep track of like what combinations you've tried. I just cannot figure out a good way to go about it, unfortunately. So and then also the other idea was basically you would get one try, and so if you just wanted to come in here and just like start spinning things and trying things, you could, but unless you actually got it correct, and then once you locked in, if it was correct, then the portal would activate, and if you got it wrong, then spikes would shoot up from the floor or something like that, and then you would take damage. So that is kind of what we're thinking about doing. I just cannot think of how I want to actually make the UI work, you know? So we got through a couple different iterations. This one, it seems like we keep coming back to this one, where it's a dial within a dial within a dial. And so you have like these 3 spinning dials all within each other. And yeah, and then basically the other one we tried was going with like this smaller dial and like lining them up, you know, one after another in a line. And it was okay looking. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. So this is kind of the idea that we had, was you'd have the 3 dials, and then you would have the tries above that. But I don't know. I don't know. And I mean, we could try, because I guess we never really got to this point. So what if we really quickly tried? We tried the middle. And we do this one. So if we try something like this. I mean, I guess this is pretty close to where we got before. But then we would do something along the lines of Oh. Oops. Cut that. Right? Okay. Yeah, so then general idea, oh my gosh. General idea would be maybe something like this. Yeah, I don't know. Something like that. And then, yeah, so then you would have a like lock-in button somewhere. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so like even if it was like down here, you had like the lock-in button. What if maybe what I'm not liking is maybe we need to go with the center one? Maybe? I don't know. That's kind of the issue we're having right now. Is just like I'm just not exactly sure what we want to do with the UI. Yeah, so let's talk about your UI. We're doing 3x3. Figured it was 2-line colors. Let's see. We will make the puzzle today, and in a few weeks' time, he will revamp it. Then in a month's time, he will return to the original design. It's never happened before. Never, Loki. Never in a million years. Can you make the left side kind of like a jackpot wheel style that scrolls down or turns like a wheel of fortune, wheel of history? So...
Okay, so are you meaning... Oh, well, there we go. We've got ourselves a voice of God. So are you meaning essentially we would have the wheel off on the left side, and then we would then have the stuff over here? We could do something like that
as well. We could do something like that.
So basically, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. So basically, the idea for this is to activate this portal right here. This is kind of what we're wanting to go with, is actually being able to activate the portal.
Because as of right now, what we have, terrifying, horrifying looking, is basically what we have in place right now. So this whole puzzle right here is to be able to leave the floor. So you'll be exploring, fighting monsters, collecting items, all that fun stuff. Then to actually be able to leave the floor, you have to teleport off the floor. So to do that, you would be able to find this exit room. And so it is spiked. There's a trap here, but then there's this portal right here. So if you interact with the glyphs, it pulls up a puzzle. So as of right now, there's like 3 or 4 different puzzles that we currently have in place that you would then do, and it would activate the portals. Like this one specifically is like you're like trying to click on the glyphs, and then as long as you actually get them on there, then it activates, the portal turns on and all that fun stuff, and then you're able to leave the floor. Which is fine, but I think what we want to do is have one central puzzle that is specific to actually activating the portal, and then all the other puzzles we're going to use elsewhere, and that is going to be that there are going to be other traps throughout the floor, the tomb, and on those puzzles that's where you'll, or on those traps, this is where you're gonna find the actual other puzzle. So I wanted to have something that was more, that took a little bit more time versus everything else is a lot faster.
Did we do work in the first tower? Also art.
Technically, yes. We have been doing art. We have been doing work, actually basically mostly all the stream. It's been not a lot of work, mostly just kind of going back and forth, but we have been doing work. We have definitely been doing work. See, Quasi says hi, welcome, glad you're here. Going into the inkwell, says Lamau. Fairwinkling, love the twerking ducks.
Headshot.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So that's kind of the general idea of it, is we want a more actual like puzzle-esque thing to actually get off of the floor. And so this is where I'm kind of going back and forth. So we could go into terms of something else we could do is we could make it a puzzle where you have to...
Thanks for the follow, Pratic Tedant.
Pratic Tedant, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you. So something else we could do is we could give the puzzle, not have any way to like see your past tries or anything like that, and it would basically just be you would have to explore the tomb, and you would find like 3 clues as you're exploring, maybe like inscribed on the walls or something. I don't know why these stop. I don't know, because they're definitely animated before. I think it's when the portal turns on. Torches, yeah, because they're animated here. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so that's another option we could do, is as you're exploring the tomb, you might find clues as to what the, as to what the actual puzzle answer would be. We could do that as well. I don't know. This is where I'm just like, I feel like I'm hitting my head against a wall, just like, how do I do this? What do I do here? Anyways, yeah, so we could put it off to the side, and we could have a spot where it shows your attempts. I don't feel like this is quite correct. And that's where I think it's like hitting me, as I'm like, the way that I'm doing this, it just doesn't feel like it's quite right. And so maybe that kind of a puzzle is not correct for this thing right here. I guess that means the other thing we could do, there's one other puzzle that I'm kind of thinking we could potentially do, and that puzzle is like a slider puzzle. For anyone who's familiar with the slider puzzles, Basically, it's like a 3x3 grid, and then you would have 8 pieces with 1 empty piece, and then you slide the pieces around to like form a complete image, or like make sure that everything's lined up sequentially, or like, you know, whatever it's going to be. So we could do that as well, or we could start working more on the card system, the battle system, and getting that a little bit less buggy. We could do that as well. Cameron says, sup? Glad you're here, Cameron. Now I want a game, bruh, of myself. It can all be yours. Here on stream. For 4 hours, 3 times a week. Man, that floor is, oops, all puzzles. I have actually thought about doing that, is basically every single room is just a trap and a puzzle. I was going to call it oops, all traps, but yeah, oops, all puzzles also works as well. Yeah, do we do work in the first hour? Let's see, am I the problem? No, Cameron, you're absolutely not the problem. Hello all, by the way. What's the problem with the current puzzle? Well, so basically, so there's not necessarily a problem. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to utilize a new mechanic. So basically, the new mechanic is being able to rotate images. I did not know that it would be possible at first. So, yeah, so basically, the problem is just trying to figure out how to best utilize this kind of a mechanic where you can click and drag and align things. Check out in Discord, please. Absolutely, yes, absolutely. We will take a look. So yeah, so basically that's kind of, so it's not necessarily a problem. It's just I don't know what to do with it. Basically, so yeah, and yeah, it's just yeah. So I have this whole new mechanic of being able to like click and drag things, but I'm like, what do I do with it? Like we can still go back to like the old align the glyphs, like that's literally all this is. Originally was. So originally you would click one of these sections and it would rotate 90 degrees. And you click again and it would rotate 90 degrees. And you click again, it would rotate 90 degrees. And basically we're just trying to line up the glyphs so that, or the icons, the symbols here, to have all the red pointing up. That was the puzzle. But now that you can actually click and drag, like click and move them and rotate them, I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the best way to like utilize this kind of a thing. And I guess it doesn't even necessarily have to be this. It could be something else. I don't know what, though. I don't know what. That's kind of where we're at. Is I'm just not sure exactly how I want to use this new mechanic is all. I'm sure there's a good way to use it. I'm just not sure what it's going to be, you know? Okay, so that's what's going on there. So I think we can just do that. I have a suggestion if you're open to ideas. Fairwinkling, I am 100% open to ideas. Yeah, if you've got something in mind, something that you feel like could be fun. Some of the other ideas that we've kind of thought about is maybe doing some kind of like a lock-picking-esque minigame. I just wasn't sure how to do like any kind of like haptic feedback. So I'm like, I don't want to rely solely on sounds, because like I was kind of thinking like, oh, as you rotate, it's like making little clicking noises, and then maybe once you get to like the right position, it makes a different kind of clicking noise. But I don't want to do that because if anyone ever like plays the game with this, like if someone doesn't want to play with the sound on, if someone's deaf, like whatever it is, I'm like, okay, so we can't rely solely on that. So we need some kind of both visual and audio indicator if we were to do something like that. The other thing would be, you know, like as you're rotating it and you getting it to like to a certain spot, something would like show up on the screen to like indicate, oh, it's in the right spot. We could do something like that as well. Did you make that pixel font? If you didn't, what is it called? I did make the pixel font. And I kind of actually want to make it available to everybody. So the reason why I actually use this pixel font is because I wanted everything to be exactly 3 pixels wide by 5 pixels tall for, you know, M's and W's and stuff like that, because usually with fonts, you know, letters like M and W are usually a bit wider than that. So yeah, so I made it myself. But yeah, I do think I want to make it available to everyone, for anyone who would want to use it. I have been told by some people that it has problems, and I will agree. It does have some problems. But Yeah, monofont. Yes. Yeah. So there are other monofonts out there that kind of do the exact same thing. I had very specific things that I wanted my font to look and feel like. And so that's kind of why I made my own. Maybe it was overkill. Probably was overkill. But that way, I don't know. I wanted a way to like make it pixel perfect as I was trying to like show text and stuff like that on the screen. And honestly, it mostly came down to if people wanted to name their player and if they ever named their character 8 W's or something, then it would go off the screen and I wanted to avoid that. So yeah. So the portal scene has glyphs on it. If you can randomize some of those glyphs, we could put them on the wheel and they would appear as they get it right. Okay, all right. So, yes. I do like that. I do like that. Could have them appear a certain color when it's the right place and a different color when it's the wrong place, but part of the password spell, kind of like Wordle. Yeah, so we actually kind of already have a puzzle like that I had experimented with at the beginning. And we could just kind of take that and adapt it to this new mechanic itself. Yeah, so the original puzzle that I did kind of like that, I called it like the hot cold puzzle. Basically, essentially the way that it worked is come over here and we interact with the glyphs. Yeah, basically the way that it worked is you'd have these sliders here, and then as you move the sliders along, this must be broken. It is broken. I have broken it. But before, basically what would happen is as you slid these along and they got closer to where they're supposed to be, there was a purple bar that would fill up in here. And so as you moved it closer, it would start to fill up. And then if you went past it, it would then start to go down. So you'd want to go back and stick it to that place. And so basically it was just like a hot and cold puzzle where it was like, there's like, I don't know, 20 different positions for these buttons and you had to like get them into the right positions. So we did have something like that and we could definitely go back to something like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, I do like that thinking. 100%. Probably the password /spell. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I would be down. I would be down for something like that. So yeah, monofont. I will name myself. What? I was gonna say that, pronounce that as Yublove, but I feel like that's not even close to what it should be. But I do appreciate the spite. I appreciate the spite. That is kind of another thing too, though, is with this specific font, it's gonna be very difficult to adapt this and translate it to other languages other than English. So why did I call it English? Oh well. Fleas. Is that actually what that says? Oh my gosh. English? Exactly. It's English. Good old English. All right, let's go take a look at art and then I will contemplate what we're going to do. I haven't felt this lost on stream in a long time and I apologize. Yeah, I'm like full of all these things and I'm like, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. For some reason tonight, even though like I know what I want to do, creatively, I feel like I'm just not able to do it. So yeah. Good times. Oh, let's see here. We got the cousins. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Here we go. Hold up. I thought you said you weren't going to color them in anymore. But they do look really good. They do look really good. Love the jacket with the mini skirt. Looks absolutely fantastic. The shoes, as always, look beautiful. The hair, top notch, beautiful stuff. Ooh. Oh, I don't know what it is about like the, not the creases, but like the negative space in the bow looks really good. I really like what you did with the bow here. The way that you've got like the hat angled on this hat as well. It is all of this 10 out of 10. It is looking really good the way you got this going. Yeah, fantastic stuff. Yeah, beautiful stuff right here. Very well done, Cameron. The rising stars on the left, Anna Marie, Cassidy, Spacey. Then we all know the wand keepers, all 12. Yeah, 100%. I love it. Yeah, this is coming along really well. Let's see, Rinju Kusachi, I hope I pronounced your name right, over on YouTube says, which is the best RPG Maker engine, MZ or MV or Unite? Or is there any other engine? Well, in terms of specifically RPG Maker, I'm going to, out of those three, recommend MZ. Unite, I'm going to say don't use it. Do not use it. It is a buggy mess right now. It is buggy. It is not intuitive. It is not well thought out. I know they're trying to like branch out, and you know it does open up the possibilities for a lot more stuff, because Unite is essentially a plugin for Unity. That's basically all it is. And so like it does simplify aspects of Unity, and so you're able to do more than just the regular RPG Maker engine. I wish they would just make their engine more robust and just call it good there. I don't know why they've felt the need to try and branch into basically just creating a plugin for another engine and then selling it for like $100. So I would not recommend Unite at all. And then the only reason why I would potentially suggest MV over MZ is price. MV is definitely cheaper, and you can find it on sale for way cheaper more often. I think right now MZ is on sale for like $30. I think MV is on sale for like $5. So you can definitely get MV for cheaper. But they both come with free demos, so 30-day demos where you can try them out. So I would recommend at least giving that a try. And then yeah. So I just bought MZ. No, that is a good thing. MZ is 100% what I would recommend. So I use MV right now because that's what I started this project with, and there's a lot of plugins that I use that are not ported over to MZ. But MZ honestly is what I would recommend 100% over MV. MZ has a lot of improvements to both the engine as a whole, but then also just like it's newer, so you're gonna have like more support for longer. People are gonna be creating plugins specifically for MZ. Most people will try and get it working in both MV and MZ, but a lot of times, like if someone's creating a new plugin, it's going to be specific for MZ and not MV because MZ is the newest one. MZ is also going to be getting more of the updates, more asset packs and things like that. So MV is by no means dead. It's not a dead engine. You know, there's still people actively creating plugins for it, asset packs specifically for MV. But for the most part, most of that stuff can be translated directly to MZ. And so honestly, if you have MZ, that is the way that I would say to go, is definitely go with MZ, mostly because MV is, from like a technical standpoint, MV is a 32-bit program and MZ is a 64-bit program. So MV is only able to use up to 2 gigabytes of RAM. That is it. It caps out at that. So it doesn't matter if someone's computer has 8 gig of RAM, 16 gig of RAM, 128 gig of RAM. MV can only ever use 2 gig of that RAM. And so if you have a whole bunch of events on the page, if you're showing a bunch of pictures, if you have a bunch of stuff going on, animations wise and stuff like that, at the same time, MV can only utilize up to 2 gigabytes of RAM. And so you quickly run out of RAM if you're doing too much on a map. And so it just kind of is a problem there. But with MZ, it uses, if someone had 128 gig of RAM, I guess technically you could use all 128 gig. Yeah, so just from a technical level, MZ 100% recommend over MV. Yeah. I am interested in MZ 3D, but it's very difficult to understand it. Yeah, the MZ 3D is wild what you can do with that thing. Spending as much time as you possibly can in the demo that it comes with, I would recommend, wholeheartedly recommend doing that. I've spent maybe a couple hours looking into it, trying to like figure things out. It does get a little bit crazy when you're trying to do very specific things, but it is really cool stuff. Honestly, the MV 3D or the MZ 3D plugin that is there is, I wish that they would just make an RPG Maker like that. I wish they would make it so you could make 2.5D games. That would, like, I would be set. I would be set, and I'd be like, I am happy now. So, I wish they would do that. But there are the plugins, and yeah, they are very good. So yeah, so the MZ 3D, absolutely fantastic. 100% would recommend. Yeah, so if you got MZ, you are good. You are good to go. It's neat. Oh, that's right. Sorry, that's my bad. Let's see. What do we got from Loki? Yes, I speak English. I speak English. My color theory is so good. I would agree. Let's see, Quasi says, technically in most compilers, there is an option to use unassigned values for the memory consumption at x86 apps, allowing it to have up to 4 gig. But most 32-bit apps are 2 gig, so you can keep the cake. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the MV is capped at 2 gig. I mean, again, like there might be a way to get it to go up to 4, but I'm pretty sure that MV is capped at 2, which does suck. I don't know. Haven't really looked too deep into it. Just because, what do we got? Okay, what What have you sent to me? What is this? I'm speechless. I'm not going to play that on stream, just for copyright reasons, but I don't know what the freak I'm watching here. But I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate that. I'm going to go to sleep. See y'all. Cameron, I appreciate you being here. Hopefully you have an absolutely fantastic evening. It's muted. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I'm not playing that on stream. That could very quickly get copyright struck. Or claimed or something. Whatever the guy would do. I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, there was once I played a video for like 10 seconds and I had the audio on. And then like literally as soon as the stream ended, they were like, you've got some issues. Remove this now. Pineapple was a good example. Russian, if you know, you know. I'll have to check again, because I don't know. See, I'm just gonna call you Ringy. Says I watched a channel called Kyo Knight, I think. They use MZ3D, and it's too realistic with the dungeon and flying ship. Yeah, it is crazy what you can do. Honestly, something that I tried, so you can go in, so with MZ3D, you can actually lower the rendering resolution scale. And if you lower it like a ton, like set it to like an 1/8 of the render resolution scale, you could actually have it be like super pixely, and it looks like really, like it looks like you're playing like this really old like retro game, and it's really cool looking. I've actually debated making a game and then turning down the render resolution scale just so I can get like that really like pixely art thing going on. Maybe one of these days, once I'm done with this project. I'll see you in my new house on Thursday. Oh, Cameron, that's going to be so much fun. I'm very excited for you. Good luck. Good luck with the move. Okay, so yeah. Should we work on... I'm kind of feeling the card system. Maybe we do some stuff with the card system. We got the combat system still, which I think right now the splits are still an issue. Reshuffling the deck when it's empty is an issue. Don't tie unless 17 plus. Oh, that's right. The soft hands currently are not working. Yeah, there's still so much we got to do here. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's come over here. Let's go. We're gonna switch this from -3 to a +1 and 2. That way, monsters are actually spawning. I also want to check in here. So we go to monsters. We should have those two. Should be those two. We'll see. Anyway, well, I guess for anybody that's new here, I guess I haven't really gone over the project. So really quickly, we're making a dungeon crawling roguelike RPG where you are a bounty hunting adventurer who is delving into what was once a wizard's tower for a wizard named Vercilias. He was attempted to be arrested by the king because, quickly he says, this one's gonna be quick. Because the Mage Vercilias, he was researching dark magics, and the king heard about it, was not a fan, and so he put a bounty on his head. The Vercilias cursed his tower, so it would ever be shifting and changing so that no one could ever get to him, just creating this unnavigable labyrinth. And it worked. No one ever has been able to find him over the course of months or years. I'm still not exactly sure on the timeline, but it's been a while. And so everyone just assumes that he has died in the tower because no one has ever seen him come out. And so everyone's just like, yeah, he probably just got lost in his own tower and died. So everyone refers to it now as the Tomb of Vercilias. But the king is not convinced. He's like, no, until I can actually see him dead or alive in front of me, I'm not convinced. I believe he's still in there researching dark magic, and we need to stop him. So you, along with many other adventurers, are traveling into this tomb and attempting to navigate it and find Vercilias and bring him out dead or alive and collect your reward. So that is kind of the general idea of the game. So again, going for like a retro roguelike style. And yeah, and that kind of goes into the whole. So every time you play, it'll be a new dungeon layout. So it's kind of like playing into the whole. The tomb is ever shifting and changing, which is why it's the random generation. And yeah, so and then let's see what else we got. The combat is based off of blackjack, so that's what we're going to be working on right now. So when you go into combat, you will play blackjack against the monsters, and that is how you will fight. So the suits of the cards are replaced with elements. So you got Pyro, Geo, Hydro, and Necro. and essentially you will be able to upgrade those with these magical D20 runes. As you collect them, you can drag and drop them to upgrade them. So, you know, so a 1 and a 1 make a 2, 2 and a 2 make a 3, so on and so forth. And then eventually you'll be able to upgrade them, put them into your spell book, and it will upgrade your spells. And then as you draw those cards linked to your spells, it will then do more damage. So as of right now, since I'm only doing 1 damage across the board on all the spells, so since I have 2 hydro cards, if I were to actually win this hand, it would do 2 damage. But since I'm only at a 12, and as a soft hand, I'm probably going to hit again. We got a 19. A 19 is pretty good, so I should do 2 hydro damage and a pyro damage. So let's stand on a 17. Let's see what he gets. He's got a 9, a 12, a 21, of course. All right, so I lose. He attacks me. There we go. I've got a blackjack. Sweet. So if you get a blackjack, you will do 2x damage. It's basically just a damage multiplier. So I did 2x damage right there. The other things you can do here in blackjack, if you're familiar with blackjack, you can do what's called a double down. So if you double down, it will place a card sideways on your hand. As long as you don't bust, and so long as you win, then you'll do double damage. But if you bust or if you don't win, then you don't do double damage because you lose. So, but basically if you double down, it just means you draw 1 more card and that's it. So if I do double down again, I've got a 20. That's actually not bad at all. There we go. I got a 20. So now I can do 2x damage to him with those cards. And he got a blackjack. Cool. So I lost my split. So the other thing in here is you'll also have the splits as well. So if you draw 2 of the exact same card, you can do what is called a split. And so if you split your hand, you basically have 2 hands now. And the way that it works is as you basically play those hands separately. And yeah, and then you have a chance to either win twice or lose twice, or win once, lose once, whatever it may be. And yeah, that's kind of the basics of the blackjack. Normally the monsters will not have this much health. This is just for testing purposes. You would not be playing blackjack this much against monsters trying to do damage to them. There we go. Here's actually another good example. So if you ever get a tie, usually in blackjack, what would happen is if you both tied, then the dealer and would just take the cards away. Just be like, yep, it's a tie. You get your money back. You remove the cards. You get a new hand. Instead of just it being like, okay, yep, you tied, cool, draw another hand. I figure we'll do like a dice roll. So basically you'll choose evens or odds, and then if you win the roll, you attack. If you lose the roll, then you get attacked. We're just gonna do evens. We'll roll the dice. Let's see what happens. We got a 1, so we lose. So he attacks us. And yeah, that's kind of the basics of what we got. There's also, you know, gonna be other things as you're exploring the tomb. You'll be collecting items. There are traps that you'll need to disable and or get hurt by them. I think that's about it. So, dang it. That was a terrible double down. Stand on that one. So, there are a couple things as of right now that are still bugs in this combat system. So I'm going to open up a notepad really quick because I'm actually pretty sure I may have written them down. Maybe not. No, not there. Not there. Okay. So I think that's about it. Okay, yeah. Let's just create a new one. Yeah, so like I said, there are a few bugs we do need to work on in the combat system. I just need to come across them so I can actually remember what they are. I do know that one of them is for the splits. The splits specifically. I do know that we are still having issues with the splits. Okay, another hit. Okay, this would actually be fantastic if I can actually get him. 25. That's a problem. That is a problem. Okay, so soft hands still aren't working for the monsters. That is one. So on that other hand, I believe it was like a 3 and a 5. Let me go back and just check really quick. So we had an ace and a 6. And it flipped for some reason. Why would it have flipped? Wait, why would it have flipped? So he drew... Okay, so we had a queen, a 4. Oh, that's right, that's right. Okay, so he had a queen. And then he had a 4, which should have been 14. And then he drew an ace. Okay. Let's, in parentheses, we're just going to say, had a 14, drew an 11, and busted. Yeah, so basically the way that the aces work, if you're not familiar with blackjack, basically the aces are soft hands. Well, they can be a 1 or an 11. So an 11 is their base value, and then if you would have busted with the ace, then it will then become a 1. So that is basically what it is. It's a soft hand is what it's called. So yeah, so he had a soft hand, so he shouldn't have busted on that one. But then on the next one, he instantly... Let's see. Then on the next hand, he instantly executed his turn. Oh wait, no. Then on the next hand. Okay, so that's not a problem. That's not a problem. Okay, so I just noticed on the next hand, nothing was wrong with his stuff. I got a blackjack on the next hand, so it just automatically went. Okay, that's why. That's why. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, so yeah, so as of right now, the soft hands are not working. Fair enough. Fair enough. We can get that working. Let's stand on 19. We got a 20, of course. All right, we got a 13. I'm going to double down on a 13. All right, we've got a 12. I'm going to double down on the 12. Oh my gosh. All right. We've got a soft 13. Let's hit. Oh my gosh. Okay, we've got a double soft hand. Let's hit. Let's hit again. Hold up. Let me, is that correct? Just skipping forward. Okay, so I had a 2 and an ace. And then I drew another ace. So that's 14. Yeah, so 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes, that is correct. That was my bad. That was my own bad. So the second ace was already set to a 1. So then I had the 11. And then I drew a king. So then we went to... So we had a king, which is a 10. And then 11, 12, 13, 14. And then and then there was a jack, which then put me up to 24. Yes. Okay, that is correct. Okay. All right. We're slowly but surely making progress. So the splits. This is one where I cannot remember where we left off and what the actual bugs are. So if we split on, crap, that's right. I forgot. So the other thing that I'm trying to also get in here and working is I wanted people to be able to set a card aside. So you could be like, all right, I'm going to set this one over here. That makes things very buggy if you move a card over there. So, where is that thing? You're not anything. You're not anything. Anchor test, you are something. I don't know what you are. You are also something. Hold card mechanic. We do not want the hold a card mechanic to be working right now. Not at all. Maybe eventually we'll add it, but for now, no. No. Because that can just mess up too many things right now. With how many bugs we currently have, I do not want to mess with holding hands. We don't want to hold hands, everybody. All right, let's double down on an 11. 15. Ooh, that's not good. Oh! Unless, of course, he busts. Then we're in the clear. Okay, so we got a soft 13. Let's hit on the soft 13. All right, we've got a solid 13. Let's double down on the solid 13. Oh, that's right. You cannot double down if you have... You can't double down if it's not on your first 2 hands, or first 2 cards. If you draw a card and you have 3, then you cannot double down. So let's just hit again. I was like, what the freak is happening? That's why. I'm going to stand on a 16. He's got a 19, of course. Of course. All right, so we've got a king and a 7. Let's stand on that. A soft 14. Let's hit on a soft 14. We got a soft 15. Do we think we can get better? I mean, soft 19. I think we can get... let's just stand on a soft 19. All right. Let's roll for odds. Dang it. Okay. We got a 5. Let's take a hit. 15. Ah, crap. That's fine. That's fine. We got a soft 16. Let's take a hit. We got a 12. Take another hit. 22, of course. All right. 11. Okay. That was Okay, so now we've got Monster drew. Did he have an ace? He didn't have an ace, did he? Yeah, so he had a 10 and a jack. Monster drew a 10 and jack, and it counted it as a blackjack for the monster. That is not correct. That is not what should have happened there at all. There's a bug. Let's take a hit. 16. Let's take another hit. 20. Oh, yes. Let's stand on this 20. Okay. The monster's first card was an ace. And when it flipped, it still counted as a 111 card. So basically, the way that I'm doing the aces, the way that I'm doing them is, so each one of these cards has an ID associated with them. Most of them are pretty simple. So it's like, a 2 is a 2, a 3 is a 3, a 4 is a 4, a 5 is a 5. An ace is a 1. But not all the time. Because if it's a 1, then I'm not quite sure when to actually decide, are you an ace? It's easier for the player's hand. Because I have 2 different cards that can be an ace that's an 11, and then an ace that's a 1. But yeah, it's just kind of weird stuff to try and get it all to work. So that is definitely a bug, is when the card number 1, because as you can see here, this is an 11, which is fine. But when the card is flipped upside down, it's different for the monster, because the monster needs to show an upside down card, but it also needs to retain the value of the ace. But it's kind of hard to do because I'm kind of retaining that value based on the card's identifier. But if the card is backwards, I can't really retain that identifier, so I have to store it somewhere else. So I store it as a value of 111, being 11 on the ace. But then I'm apparently not reducing that value when it flips, because then it was 100 plus. So 19, I'm going to stand on a 19. At this point, I'm kind of just trying to get to the point where I can get another split and give that a test. Why did I stand on a 13? So now here's the question. If he's got a 13, yeah, I would say that's also a bug. The monster and I had a 13, and it went to a tie instead of the monster drawing another. Yeah, so basically the monster should draw another card. Basically, if the monster is not winning and is not at a 17 or above, it should draw another. Like the monster just has to. So, let's do evens, I suppose. All right, I'm on a horrible streak apparently. 16. Crap. All right. I just want, there we go. There's my split. Okay. So what happens if we do a split? So if we do a split, moves the card up, draws 2 more cards. It's fantastic. So I've got an 18 and an 18. The only thing at this point now is I'm not quite sure what to do with the UI here. I was debating. Yeah, I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to have another UI element that pops up down here. And essentially what's going to happen is it will pop up, it will show there, and then this one up here will be this, and then the one down here will be this. I think that's probably going to be the best way to go about it, instead of splitting it down the middle, because the hands themselves are not split down the middle. It's one stacked on top of each other, so it's kind of difficult to know, is this one or is this one? I don't really know. But anyway, so then basically the way that this would work is if you have split, again, you're playing each one of these hands independently. So if I were to hit, I could then choose, do I want to hit on this one or this one? So you can choose, but I don't want to do either. I just want to stand, which stops both of them. What are the freaking odds that he drew an 18, and I've got 2 18s. Oh my gosh. Please let this actually work. So, evens. I hate my life. Cool. So, the way that I have it set up for the splits is if I lose, I don't know if you probably didn't notice, it flashed the screen red twice there. And that is because if I double down, and if I lose both double downs, I get attacked twice by the monster. So it's kind of like a high risk, high reward thing, where it's like, if you bust on both hands, or if you lose on both hands, you are going to get attacked twice. But if you win, you could attack twice, which is kind of nice. All right. We'll hit. And. Go. The other thing that I want to get on the splits is I want to get working. Of course. Let's just do this. I don't want to sit here and just keep drawing again and again and again and again. So I believe draw a line, draw an attack. Okay. I want to move you to there. I believe should make it so I always draw 2 of the same card. Nope. Excuse me. Oh, 151. Okay. I think I just say 151 and 151. Because, I mean, I've made the deck, but I'm not currently actually removing cards from the deck just for testing purposes. So, we've got 2 jacks. We can now split. Awkward. Okay. So, if the player splits, then draws a blackjack qualifying hand, it auto attacks with hand 1, but not hand 2. Chat's almost out. That's true. It's true. The chat is almost gone. Always a good time when that happens. Now, if the player splits, then draws a blackjack. Yeah, so if the player splits, then draws a blackjack qualifying hand on hand 1, it auto attacks with hand 1 and not hand 2. Yeah. Okay, that is a bit of a problem. Okay, so we got 2 jacks. Let's split again. You would be 20, and you would be 18. Why the freak am I 19 and 19? There's a weird bug. Okay. 19 out of 21. What? Is that just going to be the case all the time? Two jacks. Split it. Neither of these hands are right. They're both... This one is one above, or one below, and this one's one above. Also, that is wild. What? Okay. On splits, for some reason, hand 1 is equal to one more split. So you would be a blackjack. You're equal to 12 though, which means that this is taken into account a soft hand. What? That is very buggy. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is... Oh, there's so much here. So on splits, for some reason, hand 1 is equal to 1 more. So this hand is equal to this. So this is actually... Hand 1 is equal to 1 less than the drawn amount. And hand 2 is just buggy. It's just a buggy mess. The hand 2 doesn't seem to really be doing anything right now. If we split you, there's a lot of jacks. So it is considering hand 2, and hand 2 is 1 more than the drawn amount. Okay. Yeah, then we split. So this one is here, which is 1 less, and then that's 1 more. I think I maybe know why. Okay, so this is split stack. So if you click the button and then release, when you release, it erases pictures, swaps pictures, moves things, second row moves that up there, turns on C. Turns on B, turns on C. B, this is drawing the first card. Okay. I guess let's go to the top of the list and just start working down. So, on the... You there. So, soft hands still aren't working for the monsters. Had a 14, drew an 11, and busted. Okay. And then monster drew a 10 and a J, and it counted it as a blackjack. Monster card draws, all of that is going on in here. Monster draw, yes. Okay, so this tells it to pick a card. This checks to see if that card is in the deck. Cards to move equals monster cards drawn. Move the picture. This is moving the picture out, flipping, and moving back, right? Check card 1 for ace. Oh, that's just moving the cards into place. Okay, so it moves the cards into place. Check card 1 for ace. So if card... So variable 1215 includes card 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, or 4-1, which means it's one of the 4 aces. You're an ace. Aces equals 11. Then we're just going to say set variable 1215 equal 1215 plus 11. Okay. Pick card 2 for ace. Easy enough. Again, it's that first card that kind of is the bane of my existence. It draws the card, and it has to be face down because, you know, in blackjack you don't see the monster's first or the dealer's first card. You don't see it. which all that stuff worked so well for the player's hand, and this is just not working well for the monster's hand. Whatever. Okay, so monster blackjack. So if the monster has a blackjack. So if monster's cards drawn equals 2, and then we're going to check if number or game variables.value 1215.slice minus 2 plus number for game.value 1216.slice minus 2 if it equals 21. Okay. Flash the screen here. And then we're going to want to say, we're going to set the monster's cards to be 1150? 1150 is going to be 10. And then 11. So that's going to be a 10 and a jack. Okay. Let's set those to those. I think the problem potentially is yes, I think that's what the problem is. The monster's hand. So we currently have a monster's hand card 1-10 and card 1-11. And then basically it is taking that value. Okay. All right. So I think the problem is that I directly copied over that code from the player's hand, which worked fine. But then over here, that needs to be adjusted before it actually checks. Okay. Going for ace, then monster blackjack, busting, soft hand, end of hand. Start here. Okay, so I must not have finished this. I still have this last little bit to do. But what if monster drew a 10 and a jack and it continued it as a blackjack for the monster? So we need to actually adjust all that stuff first. Yeah. Which, am I not taking into account any of that? Ugh. So if monster card drawn is not equal to 1, are we not actually getting in here? Let's flash the screen red in here. I just want to see if we're actually getting into this. We should be getting in there. Pretty sure. Photogenic Mail says, "Hi there, Moonwood." Well. Welcome back. How's life been treating you? Hopefully well. I feel like it's been a very long time. Yeah, hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully things are going well for you. Yeah. Good old 07. Okay, so it is getting into that spot right there. But why is it not adjusting it, though? So in here, game variables.set value of set 82 to equal 82 plus number data system variables game variables 1140 dot slice 6. Okay. I just recovered from a sickness that's been messing with my sleep schedule, so I have the time. Fair. Well, I'm glad to see you back. Yeah, I'm glad you're feeling recovered and better. Woke up at 5 p.m. today. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I hope that I hope you can get your sleep schedule back on track. That is rough. I am sorry. Well, yesterday. Oh, you've been up since 5 p.m. yesterday. Oh my gosh. That is a very long that is a very long day. That's not good. That's not good at all. No, so it's 1 a.m. Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yeah, so it's 1 a.m. for you. Okay. That's right, because you're a couple hours ahead. Yes. So yeah, so technically you woke up yesterday, but yesterday... Okay, this is all making more sense. EST, baby. I gotta love it. Gotta love it. Sorry, I got very confused there for a second. But now I'm getting it. Yesterday is today. Exactly. Yesterday is today. Today is yesterday for me to you. My today is your yesterday for another half an hour. Good times. Good times, not confusing at all. We want to set variable 82. What is 82? Is 82 the draw value? Monster's total card value. Okay. Don't we want to have that after we do this though? So if number data system dot variable game variables dot value 1140
dot slice. Oh yes, there we go. There we go. Dot slice 6 equals 11. Then we're gonna say game variables 82 minus 1 minus 2 minus 3. Okay. Yes.
I believe that should be maybe what we want to see. Deepened and reverb? Amazing. I know, it's absolutely beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff right there with the voice of God. Okay. So, but this should have been doing the exact same thing. Okay, so what is 1140? 1140 is cards to draw. Dot slice 6. You're equal to 11. Then we're just going to say set 82 to equal 82 minus 1. You can curl 20s? It's true. It's true. Something like that anyway. What? Number data system dot variable. $11.40. I wish I could curl that for more than one set. Ah, you could get there. Just takes time. That's all. Wait, do I actually say how heavy they are? 2 20-pound dumbbells? Are they 20 pounds? Got 5. Yeah, 20 pounds. Yeah. Times. I feel like I have to check like every time. But yeah, 20 pounds. Only large dumbbell. It's only large because it's cheap. I got this from a very cheap place. I actually got it from I believe it was like a dollar store. Each one of the weights was like a couple bucks. But like because it's so cheap, like this weight right here, this front one is 2.5 pounds. So it's not like, I know it looks big, but then you look at it like that and you're like, oh, it's actually not that big. It still is only 20 pounds. So, you know. It's just because they're full of sand. That's all. That's all. If they were actual like metal or something like that, I'm sure they would be much, much more compact. Sand weights are fun. They are a good time. They are fun. I liked it because it was cheap, and I was like, nah, cheap is good. I'm down for cheap. So, card to draw. What is 1140 currently equal to? When this flashes, what is 1140 equal to? Metal is cold. It's cold. Okay, so that is flashed. So, 1140 is equal to 1151. 1151 is card 1-11. So many unnamed variables. Well, they're technically named. It's just with RPG Maker, you have to reference them via their ID and not their name, which is very frustrating. Very frustrating. They all have names. They all have identifiers. It's just you have to use the IDs, which is so frustrating. So basically, it's just like, yeah, it's like, oh, you want to reference variable card 2-1. Okay, yeah, that you have to reference it as 1154. And it's just like, all right, cool. Like that's, thanks for that. Thanks for that, RPG Maker. You could probably make an extension that matches IDs to name. Probably. I probably could. I'm just too lazy. Way too lazy. I'm sure some ran dev probably could. And make things way better for everybody. Oh well. Oh well. Okay. So what? So you're equal to that. I probably should have finished this when I was in the thick of it so I could actually remember why I was doing the things that I'm doing. I've left notes, but not enough. Think of all the time you could save in the long run with 10 hours of upfront work. You're not wrong. I could save a lot more time in the long run with just some upfront work. I know that it's possible because there's things in here like apparently if you do the data system.variables, you can actually get the name of the variables. So I know it's possible to actually reference the names of the variables. You just don't do it by default. I don't know. Okay. Monster card. If you're not equal to 1, then we want to do this, which basically, so it flashes the screen. Then, if number, chaos system 1140, 1140 is being set up here. $11.51. Okay. So then, down here, we're basically just saying game variables, the name of 1151, which is 1151 is equal to card 1-11. So it should basically be saying slice 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it should be referencing these last two as a number. So if that number is equal to 11, then we're going to say game variables.82 set variable 82 to equal 82 minus 1, which should bring it to 10. Then this one, if number data system, what if we say let's grab that. And we're going to add another conditional branch here. And we're just going to say if number data system.variables game variables.value 1140.slice 6 equals 11, which it should, then we're going to flash you green. Yeah. Okay. So with that, it should be it should be equal to 11. So it should flash green. Green, red. Okay. So flash green and then red, which means it got into this condition. This condition is correct. So then 82 is currently equal to 0. It's equal to 10. That is a 10. What is happening here? If I get rid of you.
Say for lek just redeemed stretch.
We've got ourselves some stretching we gotta do. So you're equal to a 10. Drink water, redeem when? Soon. I'm actually almost out of water. I have drank this whole thing, which is kind of crazy. I think it's because I didn't drink much water today, so I'm extra thirsty. All right, everybody, let's do some stretching really quick while I confuse the crap out of myself. Here we go, to the left. And to the right. And bring it back, y'all. Oh, man. Oh, hold on. Thank you for the stretch. I appreciate that. And yeah, I definitely need to add that drink water routine. I don't get it. You're now equal to a 10, which is correct. You are a 10. But then that should not flip, because this is now a 20. You're a 20. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Monster Blackjack. If monsters cards are equal to 2, and then if 12, 15, dot slice, -2, plus 2 hops this time. Stomps. Wait, it was hops. You messed it up. You had one job. One job. You were supposed to hop, not stomp. We've all been there, though. And anybody who says they haven't been is lying. If you've ever hopped on a stomp, sorry. Or stomped on a hop, you're lying. You're lying if you say you haven't. Okay, I found the problem. I found the issue. Yeah, found the issue. So basically what we're doing right here. So this is an else handler. This is an if statement. And basically we're saying if number game variables.value 1215 dot slice -2. So basically what this is doing is taking the name of variable 1215, add, but you know, so it's fine. That's true. I do. So it's basically taking the name of variable 1215, which should be whatever like the name of the card is, and then slice -2, which means it should remove everything but the last 2 characters, and then plus number 1216 dot slice -2 if it's equal to 21. The reason being that it is equal to 21 is because it's taking the value of those cards. Yeah. Ooh, okay. So we need to take the value of cards 1 and 2. So not just that. Everyone, I worry this is gonna be one of those nights where like we get literally nothing done because I'm just sitting here spinning my wheels, which is a terrible, terrible night. That's a terrible way to spend a stream. My brain is trying to like I'm trying to wrap my head around where my brain was when I set all this up, and I'm just like, what? Demo when? Soon. Very soon. If these bugs would get out of my way. Freaking roadblocks of bugs. Yeah, so exactly. So we need to get these bugs out of the way, because they're just not moving for some reason. Because we can't use the value of the card that is face down, because the value of the card that is face down has a value of 0. Because 0 is the card face down. So we cannot use that one. So we're saying if variable 15 plus variable 1216 is equal to 21. This is going to get finished by 2026, hopefully. This is the last stream before 2026. Oh my gosh, you're right. You are right. This is the last stream of the year. And we have gotten nothing done. Like, quite literally nothing. We have worked and reworked some UI stuff in Photoshop, and then got rid of basically all of it, and then walked away from it. We've come in here to find bugs. We've found bugs, and I've not been able to fix a single one of those bugs. I picked this one specifically because I was like, okay, this one's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy. I'm probably just calculating something wrong, and then that's gonna be it. Oh my gosh. That is crazy to think this is the last before the new year. Good times. I cannot believe that 2025 is like almost over. Crazy. Madness. That also reminds me, there's no way I'm going to get my new UI done for the first stream of 2026. Not even going to happen. I literally, the only thing that I have kind of ready to go most of the way is like the starting scene. Which, yeah. Very, very far from being done. What? Where'd that chat go? I see a chat up here in the chat. There we go. It just wasn't showing for some reason in my thing. Let's see. Excuse me. M Manup says, I recently started my dream RPG game in RPG Maker 2000 after switching from using RPG Maker 95 for a long time. That is absolutely beautiful to hear. It's always fun when you can actually get to that point where you're like, I can finally start on my dream game and get going. So that is awesome. That is awesome. RPG Maker 95, it is good, but 2000 is going to be great. That is going to be so much fun to be able to make it in 2000. Is there a particular reason why you've chosen 2000? It is an older engine, but is it the vibe, the aesthetic? What's kind of drawing you towards continuing on RPG Maker 2000? Nothing wrong with it at all. Nothing wrong with using RPG Maker 2000. I love that engine so much. That's actually the first engine that I ever used, was RPG Maker 2000. So I love it absolutely so much. Yeah, just kind of wanted to, just want to see if there's anything particular about it that you like to, make your dream game with it. Yeah, that is the problem. 2003 was weird for me, and XP felt really confusing, and I tried MV, but it just felt more of the same. RPG Maker 2000 is kind of the sweet spot for me in terms of ease and fun while making the game. That is fair. That is fair. And honestly, like, there's no right or wrong engine. If we're being completely honest, there's no right or wrong engine. There's no right or wrong way to make a game. So long as you can make your game that you want to make, and so long as you can get to the end and actually get it out there, whether it's just finishing it and you release it for yourself, you release it for friends and family, or you're able to put it on Steam and release it for the world. So long as you are able to make what you want to make, that is all that matters. How you make it, what engine you use to make it, not all of that is irrelevant. So, yeah, so this is, again, so there's not really a right or wrong answer of like why RPG Maker 2000. Yeah. So 2003 was weird, totally understandable, no worries at all. I guess the reason why I ask about 2003, honestly, like the biggest change is you have the option for like the side view battles, which some people appreciate, other people they don't appreciate. So yeah, I mean, if you're not wanting to make the battles like that, totally understandable. And yeah, there is some differences with 2003 compared to 2000. And yeah, 2000 is just peak. It is peak. I absolutely love 2000. Yeah, that's awesome though. I like that. Yeah, and XP, it does start getting a little bit into the weeds a little bit with XP. You're able to open up and start doing like Ruby. They have the different layers and all that stuff, which like once you kind of get it figured out, it is useful because it does open up more opportunity. But you do run into a few more bugs, few more issues. Honestly, and a saying that I live by, and I will say it right now, is limitation breeds creativity. And there are a lot of limitations when it comes to RPG Maker 2000, 2003. There's a lot of limitations when it comes to XP and VX. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of limitations when it comes to RPG Maker MV. There's no perfect engine. Honestly, like unless you're using something like unless you're using something like Unreal Engine or Unity, you're probably going to find some kind of limit somewhere. You're going to hit some ceiling where you're like, oh, well, I can't really do that. I can't make that. But using that limitation to then drive yourself forward, to propel yourself to new ideas, new ways to like go about and figure something out is honestly like the best way about it. So yes, I like that. I like that. I'll try my best to get it out there, and this channel is my favorite channel to watch, so I can remember that it's possible to make a really fantastic game out of RPG Maker, no matter the version. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I try and be as inspirational as possible, especially to other RPG Maker devs. If there's one thing that I want people to understand, is that if you're using RPG Maker, any of the RPG makers, you can make a good game. Don't listen to what anybody else says. Don't let anyone be like, oh, RPG Maker, and make you be like, oh, well, yeah. It's like you can make your game, whatever it is you want to make, with enough determination and creativity. You can make whatever you want to make in RPG Maker. So yeah, so don't let anybody ever try and like bring you down. But yeah, so would absolutely love to see and hear about any and everything that you're working on. Yeah, so would love to see you back here talking about your ideas, what you got going on, and yeah, would love to hear about it. Ooh, I've been inverted. I'm an inverted moon man. I'm looking forward to ending 2025, but not looking forward to 2026. Why? What's wrong? What's wrong with 2026? It's gonna be great. 2026 is gonna be a fantastic year. I can feel it. Maybe that's hopeful thinking. I can feel it though. Fingers crossed. It's gonna be an absolutely fantastic year. 2025 was great. Don't get me wrong. Like, it is crazy. I never expected 2025 to go the way that it did, in good ways and bad. But 2026, I don't know. I've got some good feelings about 2026, and fingers crossed, in 1 year from today, I can still be saying the same thing. I hope. So, I have the worst school year coming up. Oh. Well, okay, that would mean you wouldn't be looking forward to it at all. That's understandable. Have you thought about dropping out? That's what I did. Become a full-time RPG Maker game dev. Actually, I can't even say that I'm that, because I'm not a full-time RPG Maker game dev. Drop out of school and become a full-time RPG Maker game dev. You would inspire me. You would be an inspiration to me. Well, I mean, I have 1 year left if things go well. That sounds like the perfect time to drop out. 1 year left? Yeah, you don't need it. You don't need it. Get out of there. School's for suckers. And smart people. Maybe I'm just jealous. Anyway, yeah, so how am I gonna do this? Because we can't adjust. We can't adjust the value of the variable, because that is storing what the card's actually going to be when it flips over. We can't. But what we can do. Oh, actually. Here's what we can do. I would have all that debt and no degree for it. Yeah, I think the only way that I was able to justify dropping out of school was because I wasn't in debt. I was able to pay for everything out of pocket because I was like working full time while going to school, and I was also going to school like very, very minimally. I was taking like 2, maybe 3 classes, so I was maybe paying like $2,000 to $3,000 per semester, and I was doing like maybe 1 semester a year. I literally only got about halfway through my degree, so I was like, okay, I'm only halfway through my degree. I don't have any student debt. Do I actually want to continue going down the route of web developer? No, I don't. And so I was like, screw it, I'm out. I think that's the only way that I was able to do that. As a variable being overwritten somewhere. So it's not being overwritten. So I'm kind of doing some weird things. Basically, I am storing a string inside of this variable, and then I am checking that string here to find out if the 2 cards the monster has drawn is equal to 21. Which technically it would be if the monster has drawn a jack. Because a jack, like the card jack, has an identifier. So if we come over here and we look at the jack is called card 1 or card 2, card 3, card 4, -11. So the last 2 numbers, or the last 1 number, the last numbers after the dash, that is like considered the identifier of the card. So the 2 is the identifier for the 2, 3 is the identifier for the 3, all the way up until the 10. But then when it gets into the jacks, it's then card -11, card -12, card -13. Even though these 3 cards are worth 10, I can't have them all be called card 10 because this one's called card 10. And I can't have them be called card Jack, Queen, or King, because then how am I going to actually show, it would do weird things. So this is currently equal to a ID of 11. But I have to store that ID of 11 because when it flips the card, it has to know this is a jack, this is a queen, this is a king, this is a 5, a 7, whatever it is. So I can't override this. But what I can do, they could be called card 10A, card B, card C. I could, except for, again, like it kind of ruins the whole drawing of the cards. Because up here, this is the actual drawing of the card. So it sets a random, it chooses a random number between 52, like it's 52, right? And then the problem is if I were to say trying to do like something like it just wouldn't work super. Yeah, unfortunately. I do like where you're going with that though. I do like where you're going with that. But not object based, unfortunately. Yeah, RPG Maker is very not object-based. See, here's the thing. If this was in any other engine, literally all I would have to do is I could store all these values like I currently am, and I would just have an object that would just flip over, and you would have the back of the card not showing, and it would just plop down on the table, and it'd be like, here's the back of the card. But in RPG Maker, it has to be a completely separate image that it then flips over that's showing the back of the card, and then when I flip it back over, I then have to retain that variable identification number, but I can't be adding it to anything else. So yeah. So basically what we have to do, here's what we have to do. We need to say number slice. What are we going to do here? So 1215, that is card number 1. Yes. So what we want to say is another conditional branch if number game variables dot value 1215 dot slice -2, so it grabs the last 2, the identifier, if that is equal to 11. So then here's the other kind of thing that makes it a little bit wonky. Is aces are equal to 1. They have an identifier of 1. But they could be worth 11 if need be. Because, so technically aces are worth 11 by default, and then they drop down to being worth 1 if the hand would have busted. And so it shows them as being card 1-1, but then they increase to card 1-111 when it's not a soft hand, and it's just, yeah, all sorts of weird freaking things. What am I doing with my life? Okay, so then basically what we want to say, yeah, guys, right. We want to say if number game variables dot value 1215 dot slice -2 is equal to 11. That should only mean that is equal to a jack. So if it is equal to a jack, then what we want to say is just jump to label not actual blackjack. Then down here, all the way at the end of the blackjack, we would then say label not actual blackjack. Okay. I think. Should that be all that we need to do? I don't know. Let's find out. Come over here. You should draw. Dang it. Okay, so it's still doing weird things. Card 1215. So it should basically get in here. Jump to label not actual blackjack. Not actual blackjack. Should jump down to there. Let's do this. What if we flash the screen here red? And then in here, we'll flash it green. So we'll know that we're getting in here when we hit red, and I can check what variable 1215 is currently equal to. Okay, the flash red, which means it is now inside the check to say, yes, this is a blackjack here. 1215 is currently equal to... Ah, crap. Okay, so that... Why would card 2 then not be equal to 10? When does it actually change that? $35 minus. Are you using aces, or is that your next step? So the aces are a little bit wonky as well. So basically the aces, the way that we're using those is they are worth 11s, unless of course the hand would bust, then it then becomes a 1. But the way that I'm having to use them in some of the cases, because if an ace is worth 11, but then the jack also has an identifier of 11, we can't really use the same value and the identification as 11. So the aces, if they are currently worth 11, I have them set to be equal to 111. And then if they're equal to 1, then I just have them set to 1. That way, when I go in and check, and if something is equal to 111, that means that it is equal to an ace being equal to 11. Because if I check for 11s, then it would say, oh, an 11, that's a jack. And if it's a jack, then set it to be equal to 10, which is not what we want to have happen. So, let's say in here. So this is actually changing the value of it. So are you an ace? So if card 1-1, card 2-1, 3-1, 4-1 included in game pictures 100 plus 34. Well then. We can't do that exact same thing though, because again, the monster's card, their first card is flipped upside down. So you can't actually check that. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to say if variable 1215 dot slice minus 2 is equal to 11, then we want to say not actual blackjack. Or if variable 1216 dot slice minus 2 equals 11, then jump to not actual blackjack. That's why it's checking card number 1 and 2. If either of those are a jack, then it will skip past the blackjack. Let's see what freaking happens. Hey, look at that. He didn't count it as a blackjack. Freaking finally. Okay, so if I stand now, it should flip over, and that should be a 10, which it is. Yes. Oh my gosh, that was the most freaking annoying bug in the whole freaking world. And all it took was just me saying, hey, just skip past it. Oh my gosh. Some Randev, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I am sorry that you had to see that horribleness that was not good. Not good. Now, we just want to double check though and make sure if we change this to be the 1151 and then this to be 1150. So what if we put the jack on the first card and the 10 on the second card? Here we go. Okay, so we got the 10 on top and the jack is technically down there, which has an ID of 11, which normally would have then said, okay, then this is equal to 21 because it's taking the IDs of both these cards. But then ignoring the ID of that, if it is a jack, then it should be good there. So if let's take another hit and let's stand on a 12, I suppose. It should flip it. Should still be equal to 10. Awesome. There we go. Cool. I think the only other thing then is I want to check and see if we set you to be like 1152. It needs to be specifically equal to 21 to get a blackjack. So I think if we're going over, then we should be fine, right? You're equal to 10. And then if I stand, then it should be 20. Awesome. And then what if we flip that really quick? So you're you and you're you. Go. We're 10. Stand on a 16. You're now a 20. Oh my gosh. Freaking oh my. Okay, well, that should fix at least that. So, the monster drew a 10 and a jack, and it counted as a blackjack for the monster. At least we got that bug resolved. Look at that. We actually did something tonight. It wasn't just me doing UI concepts and then scrapping all of them and then coming back in here and just finding bugs and then not actually being able to fix any of them. Oh, we got one. We got one out of the list of 6 that I counted for bugs. Good times. Good times. Sorry, all I saw was success. I'm glad that all you saw was the success, because that was a head scratcher for a while. That was a major head scratcher. I was looking at all the wrong places of the code, and eventually I found it was down here. Good times. Although, now that I'm remembering, or reminded myself that I added this note to start here, that means everything from here down, so all of this stuff right here, is not technically done. Which is probably why we're still experiencing some issues. So, I think once I get this finished, then some of the bugs also should be fixed. Yeah, could be a good time. SRD is our lucky charm. That's true. They really are. They really are. And I appreciate the luck that you have brought here to the stream. Yes, I am unable to grasp my own luck, so it seeps into others. Like a leaking nuclear reactor. I just thought about this, mostly because I watched an episode of My Hero Academia with my wife before I started the stream. That would actually be a wild, I almost called it a perk. What the freak are they called in that show? I am so tired, I cannot even think of what they're called. Quirk! That's what they're called. That would be a wild quirk, is if someone's quirk was they made everyone around them lucky. That'd be kind of cool. Quacks. Yeah, the quacks. The good old quacks. Yeah, if you just like seeped luck, and so like everyone within like, I don't know, a 20-foot radius around you, they just became incredibly lucky. That'd be kind of cool, actually. I would take that quirk. There we go. That is the quirk that I would take. I want to seep luck. How would you train that? I would have other people do lucky things. I have no idea. I had no. That's what I would go to UA for. I would have them tell me how I should train that quirk. That's how. Rabbit foot sandwich. It's a sandwich with a rabbit's foot in it. Would make sense. Bin Bogami Ga is an anime where the opposite happens. Where the opposite of quirk happens, or the opposite of luck happens. Excuse me. Have people gamble? See, exactly. I would just be people's good luck charms at Vegas. I'd just be like, hey, hire me. You gotta pay me $500,000, but I will come with you and you will win every single time. Just don't make it too obvious. Although that would be kind of, you could almost use it in like an evil way. You could just like go sit by some dude who was like playing some casino game, and then he would just start winning and winning and winning and winning, and then they would assume that he was cheating, and so they would kick him out. That could be fun. That could be a good time. Oh man, good times. Sit by a dude to bankrupt the casino, or that if you had it out for someone who owned a casino, be like, all right, I'm just gonna go sit in this general vicinity, and literally everyone in a 20-foot radius is just gonna win everything. Although I feel like you would have to do it to inanimate objects, because if you were sitting next to the dealers, they would also get lucky, and so they would also draw really good cards. I guess that would mostly just apply to blackjack, though. What if the casino owner was there? Oh, then he would get lucky, and something good would happen to him. I don't know. It'd need a trigger. Every time you flip a coin, roll a dice, or do something and call it, your luck factor gets stronger, but it only affects others and not you. That would be good. That would be a good time. Oh my goodness. Yato!
Welcome Yato and your 4 amazing audience members.
Yato, thanks so much for the raid. I appreciate that. We are, we're sitting here talking about My Hero Academia and talking about quirks. I've decided the quirk that I would want is I would want to excrete good luck. So anyone around me would have luck. It'd be a good time. Anyway, how was your stream? How'd it go for you? Failed sleep. Welcome. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Reboot Tech. Happy to see you here. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Excrete. Yeah, maybe saying excreting luck is not the best way to describe a quirk. A luck aura. There we go. It would be a luck aura. Not an excretion of luck. It would be a luck aura. Can only affect chance and not people's wills. Oh yeah, see, there we go. Yeah, so I would definitely agree, Devious Oatmeal. Yeah, definitely need some kind of a trigger to actually make it work. And then having it only affect other people. So I couldn't actually get more lucky. So I would have to have other people do stuff on my behalf that was lucky. I don't know. Could be fun. Let's see. Victory Gaming Zombie is at a 5-stream streak. Victory Gaming Zombie, I appreciate that. If you're going to streak anywhere, make sure to streak here in the stream. I appreciate that. The stream was a struggle doing some of the later advent of code puzzles, which were kicking my butt. You know, I feel that so much right now. Not necessarily the advent coding stuff, but just I feel like maybe today has just been a bad time for streaming. It has been a struggle, not only to focus, but also just actually getting stuff done. Like I was in here working on a UI concept for like the first 2 hours and nothing worked out at all. And so I eventually just scrapped everything. And then we went over here and I found a whole bunch of bugs and I literally just fixed one bug, one bug. And that's literally all that's happened this entire stream. 3.5 hours. Good times. Good times. Actually, maybe one of you have a good idea. So basically, here's the struggle that we're running into. Is I have this new mechanic that I really want to use, but I cannot for the life of me think of a good puzzle for it. So as of right now, what we currently have in here is this puzzle right here. And basically the way that it works is if you click it, you can now drag it and you can rotate these different dials to different positions. And as of right now, kind of what I have is you would line up the pieces and get them all in a row and then you're good to go. Fair enough, but what I really want to have happen is I want some kind of interesting puzzle with this mechanic, and I cannot for the life of me figure out what I can do with it. So if anyone has any ideas, kind of the idea that I was thinking was you would rotate it and then you'd set it to whatever, so you'd have like a red, green, purple, and then you click some button to like lock it in. And then almost kind of like if you've ever played Wordle, kind of like Wordle, where like you click on it and it would like lock it into place. And then somewhere on here, it would show, oh, you clicked on it and you did red, green, and purple. If it's red, then, it'd be like, okay, like red is, one of these is a red, but this one is not red. So it would mark it as like an orange. So it's like, yes, there is a red, but it's not right there. Then if the green was correct, then it'd be like, yep, you're good to go. And then if purple, it's like, no, purple's not on there at all. And so it would like mark it as like not being on there. And I'm like, it seems like it would maybe be fun, but I'm like, it just doesn't seem quite right. So anyway, so if anyone has any ideas on how to utilize a rotating puzzle like this, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be in this kind of configuration, it could be whatever other configuration. I mean, if you were here earlier in the stream, you saw we eventually put like 3 discs, and we could do something like that. We could do something like with gears. I don't know. Anyway. So if anyone has any ideas for any kind of like spinning puzzle kind of game, let me know. Oh, the other idea was potentially you would have to explore the tomb and eventually find clues as to what the combination would be. And then once you found all 3 of the clues, then you can come in here and be like, okay, yeah, the top one is purple, the next one is green, and the last one is blue. And then you'd be like, yep, there we go, that's it. So kind of thinking back, if you've played Skyrim, there is a puzzle in there where you find a claw, and on the claw there's like 3 symbols on it, and so you have to like look at the claw, see what the symbols are, and then you go to this door and then you like rotate basically exactly this. There's like 3 rotating things, and then you rotate them to the correct positions, and then it's good to go. We could also do something like that. I would want to be a chair as a quirk. Summer and Dev, yeah, I would agree with Photogenic Male. That is kinky, very kinky. How dare! I am a platonic chair. And whenever I wanted to leave, I'd be like, I'm tired of this, sit. I see what you did there, and wobble out. Oh, man. Yeah, the last puzzle I got stuck on was the classic game mechanic of click button, various lights turn off and on, and try to figure out the simplest combination of button presses to meet a specific pattern of lights being on. Oof. I am so bad at those. I've tried several puzzles like that before. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that does not sound like a good time. Not at all. Waddle away, waddle, waddle, and the very next day, bum-ba-dum-bum, the dog walked up to a lemonade stand. But it's not a duck, it's a chair. Maybe it's a chair in the shape of a duck. You should make the puzzle spin automatically. Then you click to stop it. So there's an active timing element to it. We could do that. I have had that in the game before. So, and that's where I'm kind of thinking like maybe this specific kind of puzzle will be used for something like that eventually later, not in this configuration or like, so basically this would be the one where it's like continuously spinning. And I have thought about doing that where it's like, yeah, it's like spinning like this. And then you have to like click to stop it. And then you have to like make sure you stop it at the right time, which we kind of have a puzzle like that in here already. So I don't want there to be too many puzzles like that. Ah, crap. I forgot that I had the monsters turned on. So yeah, so we do have a puzzle like that in here already. And so I kind of don't want to have it be too often we have puzzles like that, but it still would be a good time. If I come down over here to room 3, here we go. Room 3, we come in here. Ah, crap. I just realized. Dang it. Set this up to 3, I believe. Power emitter, spinning glyphs, memory room. Yes, number 3. Okay. Now we can actually pull this up and I will show you what we got currently. Yeah, so this is one of the other puzzles we currently have, and it functions kind of like that. So basically, it's just this. It randomly chooses between, and I think it's 4 to 7 out of the 8 glyphs that are active. And then as it's spinning around, you have to like click when it goes into the rune, and then activates it, and then it reverses and then spins slightly faster. But as you're going, it like starts spinning faster and faster and faster. But the more runes there are to activate, the faster it goes, and the more difficult it eventually gets. But for now, worked out pretty well. So I may do something like that. Anyway, and that's why we haven't made much progress tonight, is because I'm just like, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do here. Okay, well, there's 4 again. I don't know. Let's see. I think that would be different enough. I think so too. It probably would be different enough. Yeah.
Thanks for the follow, Tuft Off.
Tuft Off, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, so that's kind of what we got. So eventually I will figure out what we're going to do with the whole spinning mechanic. I'm like, it's too much fun that I got it working. And maybe that's just because like it was a lot of work and very weird, confusing math to get it to work. And I think that's why I so badly, I'm like, I want to put this in the game because I'm like, it actually works and I want to actually have it in the game because it works. Maybe that's honestly probably the only reason why I really want it in the game. It doesn't have to be in the game. I just really want it to be. So, anyway, yeah. The other thing I was kind of thinking, like some kind of like a lock picking mini game, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anywho, well, I think we're probably gonna end it there. It has been an absolutely fantastic stream, but I am very tired, and yeah, so I think we're probably gonna call it there. Maybe if you have different effects for each pattern, we could do that as well. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll utilize it in some way, shape, or form eventually, one of these days. Should be a good time. Anyway, so yeah, I think we're gonna call it there though. Yeah, it's I don't know why I wasn't thinking about this until you brought it up. The fact that this is the last stream of the year. Now I feel like I need to like make some kind of speech on my exit for the year. Instead of matching colors, you need to match a design that's shown to you. And that's kind of another thing I was thinking is, actually, so maybe something along the lines of, it's like some of the like Mario Party-esque games where it's like, I have to think about that actually. Something else we could do is we could have something on the portal itself. The portal has like these symbols around it. Like it shows blue, purple, green, so you need to make it a line like that. Could do something like that too, yeah. Well, that's where I was kind of thinking like as you went throughout the tomb, you would eventually find these clues of like what position they need to be in. And then as you collect those clues, then once you get back over here and then you come in here and you're like, all right, yeah, let's, crap. I don't know if I can get this thing to turn back on. Whoops. We'll do this again. So you'll go through, you'll explore, you'll eventually find clues, and then eventually when you're in here, so long as you found all 3 clues, they'd be like displayed here and be like, oh, okay. So that way you don't have to remember them, and they would just actually show. Maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't know. I'm very proud of the fact that I got this working, and I really want to utilize it in some way, shape, or form. And I'll get it figured out eventually. Anyway, yeah, definitely no speech. So you need to make a line like that. Oh wait, that was the other one. Yeah, Spinny. Oh, I don't know. It's kind of fun. It's a good time. I'll figure it out. Anyway, yes. So last stream of the year, absolutely crazy. I thank you everybody for an absolutely wild 2025. I honestly did not expect to have everything that has happened this year happen. So it's been absolutely wild. So I appreciate everyone who has stuck with me all this time. If you were here from the beginning of 2025, if you've been here since just tonight, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate everyone for the chats, anyone who has ever donated anything, the bits, the gifted subs, anything like that. I honestly 100% sincerely appreciate it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to 2026. I think it should be good. So tempted to helium the speech. Oh, that would be the perfect exit for the speech. Honestly, I'm going to say that. Anyway, yeah, so I'm not going to be taking Thursday off. I'm going to be back normal on Thursday, so don't be expecting me to not be here on Thursday. We are going to have our stream on Thursday, which is going to feel really weird. Like, this has just been a weird month in general, so it's like, it's weird to think that tomorrow is the last day of the year, and that Thursday is going to be the beginning of the year. I don't know why, but it just doesn't feel like that should be the case. But anyway, so we will be back on Thursday, as per usual. Should be a good time. I'm going to be dedicating as much time as possible to be thinking of how to utilize this and how we're going to get stuff going, so it should be a good time. Wait! We can wait? What are we waiting for? What's going on? Oh my goodness.
Some randev just
there we
turned
go.
Their way into the
Last name of the credits of the
Tomb
year.
Vercilias.
That's fair. That is fair. Let's get that in there. Let us get that in there. Here we go. Some randev. You are now at 7. Oh my gosh. Well, you're tied with Claire like a cat again. My wife is going to be furious that you're tied. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that, Summer and Dev. That is wild. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I think first day of the year should... What?
Devious_oatmeal just turned their way into the credits of Tomb of Vercilias.
Oh my gosh. I knew if I did it, I wouldn't get to be last. Oh my gosh, that is too funny. Devious oatmeal. That is... Oh, that makes me so happy. That is hilarious. All right, well, there we go. We've now got 3 sevens. Do you have another 10K? I am so sorry for some random. But hey, you can say that you were the second to last name in the credits of the year. Oh, that was perfectly timed. That was absolutely fantastic. What a great end to the year. All right, everybody. This has been beautiful. This has been wonderful. I appreciate you all. Again, thank you so much for a great 2025. I'm super excited for 2026. I'm really excited to see where things go. Honestly, like, I know that, if you're over on YouTube, obviously this makes the most sense. But I mean, honestly, over on Twitch, I honestly didn't expect to get over like 100 followers in this first year. So the fact that we're one away. We are one away from 420. If someone who is watching right now is not following, please follow so we can hit 420 before 2026. I would be so happy. You don't have to, but I'm just saying, if you are watching right now and you are a new viewer and you are not following, please, you will be number 420 and you will be able to carry that with you for the rest of your life. So yeah, I'm just saying. And then over on YouTube, I did not expect in a million years that in the first year of content creation, of streaming and creating stuff, that we would be almost at 4,000 subscribers. I would not have in a million years expected that. So yeah, super excited for 2026. I think it should be a great time. I'm going to try and keep up with the pace that I've set. I don't know if I'll be able to. You'll get a free copy of the game. Maybe. If it happens, I don't know if it's going to happen. I highly doubt it. Anyway, well, I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic evening. I hope you all have a great New Year's Eve. Happy New Year. And yeah, I will see you all on January 1st of 2026. Should be a good time. Yeah, it should be great. That's all I got. Tom Randev, do you have any inspirational words you'd like to share? It's got to be inspirational, though. It can't just be any old words. I'm waiting. Yes. Be human. Oh, there we go. Be human. If the inspirational word was yes, then that's a good time. But if yes was wait while you type it out, I'm going to wait for a little bit longer. But the second I say them, you must end stream. Okay, all right. As soon as that message pops up right here, I am going to click bedroom end, and that's going to be the end of it. All right, so as soon as you say it, those will be the last words of 2025. So, you say it, I'm going to click end stream. It's another credits. Let's see what happens. Okay, but just so you know, I am going to, so the stream will not end. I'm going to move to the end scene. Hamburger,